And welcome back. Once again, I'm Peter Plank and I'm joined by Daniel Pernosch from the InResponse Legacy podcast. And we will feature you guys now the quarterfinals of today's event, the Austrian Legacy Masters. Before we jump into the players, let's up the stakes for what they are playing just shortly. Daniel, talk about the prize pool for the remaining players.
Yeah, exactly. So now we have the top 8, and I think we should have a short announcement who is actually in the top 8 just in a moment. But that you know, this is the overview of the prizes that everybody is playing for. A couple of dual lands with a Force of Will, also for the 3rd and 4th place. Quantum Riddlers, Eye of Ugin, so really nice prizes. And all is actually also backed up by our sponsor, Ultimate Guard, for some nice goodies.
So let's look a little bit at us, and on the right side at the tables we see the players already shuffling. Let's talk really quickly about what those two are playing, how they ended up
I think
here.
first we should have the top 8, right? Announcement.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Let's have a look who is actually in the top 8.
Let's do that. So Daniel, who is in the top 8?
Yeah.
From 8th to 1st.
Yes, we actually have Lobotka Peter. He's playing, I think, Eldrazi Stompy.
Yes.
He's in the 1st place with 16 points, quite nice. Then we have Tomasz Fryczek, also from, he's playing blue-white Riddler, I think.
Yes.
And then we have Robert Starke. I don't know what Robert is playing. I think blue. Need to get the deck lists.
Blue is a good pick. Let's look up what Starke is playing. Do we have the deck list from Robert? Apparently it doesn't find it, so maybe we are missing the deck list a little bit, but we can look it up in the near future. So let's Robert Starke. We have Robert Starke on Upsol spells.
Yeah, Upsol spells. So then that is Robert in, I think, 4th place.
We have Rehman Daniel.
Yes, Rehman Daniel on 4th place. Robert was on 3rd place, actually. Then we have Mado. We have Mado Energy. Then we have Chismadia Peter on Cephalid Breakfast. Pilgrim Johannes, and he is playing, we have him on Aluren, actually.
And it's the show and tell variant.
Yeah, then we have Nunos Esteban. I think Esteban is on Tess, actually, yeah. The Epic Storm. Esper Saga Storm, not really Tess, but Esper Saga Storm, rather. And then we have Valentini Jan. And he is playing a blue-green post variant. It's mostly green, but just a blue splash, mostly for stock up in the main deck. And now we actually will see Jan, and he is on this blue-green post deck, and he plays against Lobotka Peter on Eldrazi Stompy.
Yeah, and we see Peter, of course, going first because Peter ended up in 1st place with 16 points of the tournament. He starts the game off, I think, with the new kind of Stifle land, the new Piffing Needle land, and will, what will he name actually here in this matchup?
I think since there is no Wasteland from the post deck, yes, so I think the only land that would make sense, maybe Caracas is the only one that actually has an activated ability. I don't think that this card is actually too important for this game in particular.
So it's just, let's get it out there. I mean, it's worse when it's basically as he would have played a waste.
Maybe Poseidon. I don't know if it works on the activated ability on the hand. He can maybe name Poseidon that he cannot use it for the channel ability. Potentially that. Yeah, that would make sense.
So it's basically either one of the channel lands or the Caracas. And the other channel land would
Yeah.
be the Ottawa Austrian city in this case.
Exactly. So not too many. I think that those are not. I mean, the Bosechi might be important.
Sorry.
you.
And yeah, here we see a disruptor flute. We've seen a lot of those today, but what is actually a good name here? Will be interesting about the information about the card being named. There are actually a lot of cards that the speed bump would be kind of good against. Maybe
Probably Wasteland, I would assume.
But there aren't actually any Wastelands in the deck list.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is from what I am trying to read it from the paper.
Yeah, I don't know why he's pointing at the Eldrazi spawn, because you only can name cards, and Eldrazi spawn, unfortunately, is only a token. I think there is one token, there is a magic card that has exactly the same name. So it can be named, but this is such a niche case. Yeah, let's see what Valentini can do now with his mana. What are actually some win conditions that Valentini can now go into pursuing?
Blue-green post is needs a little bit more mana. He has the Planar Nexus that pairs quite nicely with his Cloud Post and Glimmer Post lands together. That enables the Cloud Posts and also the Ursa land that he has also in the deck to make more mana. So he wants to develop his board state in that regard first. And a couple of payoff spells would be the One Ring. We also have Karns and Ugins. So it's in a sense similar to Tron. However, it plays a couple of colored spells and has a different mana base. We have Crop Rotation in green, and we also have Stock Up in blue that he can also cast. And let's see what he is now doing. I think he's now
using the Lotus Petal to cast the Crop Rotation, putting away the Boseiju to get himself most likely some mana acceleration. This is something that is a lot of being done. It's basically a Dark Ritual now.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got confirmation the flute is on Linebreaker, and
Eldrazi Linebreaker,
the Hamlet is being pointed at, which can be Hamlet is on Boseiju.
Yeah, it can still use the land for mana, but not for the channel activation. And there's a Karn, okay.
I mean, the Karn can kill the Chalice in here. Do the Chalice also do harm against the Eldrazi deck as well?
On 0?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a Lotus Petal. There's a couple of Lotus Petals. But so it seems that this Karn is still on the stack, and Lobotka responds by casting the Kozilek's command. Is a cast sets for X is equals 2. Gets to scry and have 2 additional spawns and then draw a card. And then the Karn, I would assume, likely could kill Chalice, for example.
Or get himself something from his wish board. What are actually some cards that would be really nice here?
I think As of I think I like it that he goes for the Chalice uptick at the moment. Actually, I would also not go for any wish card at this point. That makes more sense.
Yeah, I mean, now you get rid of the Khan, put in a few damages.
Yeah, the Smasher is nice. Smasher is a really good clock. It deals with the Karn.
And it's actually hard to remove as well with the... It kind of has a ward mechanic, but it isn't called ward. Am I right? You have to discard a card when you target it.
Yeah, exactly. It's ward before ward existed, kind of. And it is a 5/5 Trampler. Good old card that we for sure remember back in the day when we had Eldrazi Winter, also in Legacy.
Yeah, the Ugin doesn't really do anything. I think it just gains some life here, draws some cards, maybe gives some possibilities.
Yeah, the quote-unquote issue with Ugin in that case is that the triggered ability is only for colored permanents, and there's no colored permanents on Peter's side. It's still a massive planeswalker that gives him a couple of life points and has quite a bit of loyalty. So it's still quite strong, I would say.
Yeah, but in this case, it comes down a little bit too late, am I right? I mean, it's still a turn 3, but it feels like it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, both decks are actually accelerating their mana quite fast. And Peter with that Eldrazi spawns a little bit. And also potentially, well, now we didn't have it, but there's also ways with Eye of Ugin that makes the Eldrazi cards cheaper. And Jan with the mana base of Planar Nexus and the Ursulans and Cloudlands, if he had it. So both are kind of doing their things, and I think not too much interacting in this game.
Yeah, it seems like one of the premier cards actually for Valentini would be those ensnaring bridges.
Yeah, that would be a nice pickup. Peter then has struggles to attack through that. The bridge, I think, is, however, in the sideboard. Yes, you would need the Karn for it to get. Right now, he has the Ugin on the board.
Yeah, and I think that's lethal, am I right?
Yeah.
And welcome to Legacy. We're going to game 2. So first game to Peter Lobotka, winning with his Eldrazi Stompy deck. And so continue the tradition. What can actually Valentini or Jan do to combat against this deck?
Yeah, when I'm looking at the sideboard, I'm looking mostly here at the 3 copies of Dismember that potentially dealing with any creatures. For example, one of the Smashers, that would be very nice to see. And other than that, I think a lot of it is dedicated for the wish board. So I think mostly I'm looking at those cards. The other cards I don't think is too much important. One thing that Jan Cat could think of, Peter did not have Wastelands because he opted for the Hamlets in his build rather than Wastelands. So he's not expected to lose any lands along the way and can potentially bring in a little bit more fatty beaters like the Emrakul, maybe potentially if he has enough mana. But the Eldrazi deck can be also quite fast. So I think actually I like the Dismembers.
And on the other side, for Peter, we have in the sideboard Disruptive Flutes, Hearse, Warping Whale, also dismembers for itself.
Yeah,
Fair card Mindbreak Trap. There's besides the Disruptor Flute, are there any cards?
Yeah, I'm just mostly looking at those exactly. Disruptor Fruit is nice to deal with Planeswalkers. Dismember, there are not really any targets. There's also Warping Whale. I think it counters sorceries, I think, if I remember, yes, but there's not. Well, you can potentially counter a stock up, but I'm not sure if that is something that he wants to do. Also, this blue splash is only for stock up, and it's not. Peter, I think, has not yet seen blue mana, so might not even know that there's stock up in the deck. Yeah, but it's mostly the flutes, I would say.
Yeah, it will be really interesting how it goes. I think Peter was on the play, so it should a little bit shift into the direction for Jan with being on the play, being a land drop ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, as you already talked about, the Hamlet doesn't really have to counterplay against those land-heavy decks, as opposed to a possible wasteland in there. So let's see how, Jan can configure his deck after sideboarding. We've seen, I think, 6 or 7 cards being exchanged. Those should be for sure the 3 dismembers. Maybe he's actually really looking at Alfugin and Emrakul as having a possibility in those. And because, like, the other cards, the Snare, the One Ring, the Ensnaring Bridge, those are all cards you really want to get off a Karn here.
Yeah. The issue with the bridge is that we've seen it actually in this game. Glaring Flash Raker still has reach, and there, even if there's a bridge on the battlefield, it can just deal any needed points of damage through that by just casting, for example, a big Kozilek's command.
Yeah.
And then the bridge would also not help.
Yeah, it's mostly just a possible speed bump that you can do. Because other than that, it's quite hard. I mean, in the end of the end scenario for the deck is, I think, like Caracas bouncing Yon Emrakul and recasting it.
For example, yeah. Let's see if he actually brings that in. He has also access to Ulamog, and I think you can exile 2 permanents when he gets cast. That is something that helps actually against all the colorless permanents that he has. Diugin does not deal with that. So I like the Ulamog actually more than the Emrakul in that case. Just also because the Eldrazi deck is still quite fast. I want to say with their clocks. So I'm not sure if Jan would have the time to get to 15 mana to cast the Emrakul.
Yeah, it's mostly like the One Ring chaining.
Yeah, for example, this is good because the One Ring also is 1 turn fog effect. If you chain a couple of rings into another, you can also build up your board state along the way. So that is quite nice.
Yeah. Do you know actually which player last year at our tournament chain 3 or even 4 the One Rings back to back to back in his mono green Cloudpost deck? Peter Lobotka. So he actually knows how you can lose in those scenarios. Maybe last year he was a mono green Cloudpost, and I do not know against which play it was, but he actually chained those 4 the One Rings back to back to back and won the game. Yeah, and as the chat mentioned, Wastscape Battle Mage is a clean answer to the bridge. That's true. But yeah, it's something that you are only possibly holding your life into. You need the speed bumps, and you have to have your opponent not having perfect cards. I think in this matchup specifically, because they don't really interact with each other that much. And for both players, are like chalices are coming out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Peter doesn't really want to have chalice in the deck. It's not really effective, and there's not really much you can counter, I think.
It would be just a chalice for the Lotus Petal, and doesn't seem that great, even on the draw. It's a lot worse. So need on the side of Valentini basically the like 1-4 scenario to have some big cards on the second or latest third turn, ideally on the second turn, to put something in the way as a possible win condition.
Let's see, yeah, Valentini has the turn 1.
A Boseiju again doesn't really seem great, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, it would, yeah, exactly. I like it. He uses it directly to get one of his more impactful lands. Planar Nexus is arguably the most important one from his deck because it enables all other lands single-handedly, more or less, and gets his mana ramp going quite fast.
Yeah, and on the other side with the Eldrazi Herald, we actually have quite a really good card here because it's not only acceleration, as it's also a threat. Am I right? Together with the spawns.
Yeah, it's a nice 2/2. I mean, it's, I think, yeah, a better card, but it's fine to have. Later on, the higher casting costs that can come up, but this is kind of an Eldrazi mini lord that is, yeah, putting some pressure. It's nice to have on turn 1, especially if you compare it with the soul lands that Peter is going.
Yeah, and I think actually Jan had quite a bad top deck in some sort of sense because I think he actually drew the new all land once again. And if he knew that card in hand, you would definitely go for a Cloud Post on the latter turn. Is this a dismember?
Yes, I think this is a dismember from Jan's side. In response to the Lotus Petal, the Glaring Flashlicker would have been otherwise quite scary because it deals a lot of damage in a very short amount of time. So it was good for Jan that he had the answer right away for that.
So let's see if Peter does something. Okay, just attacks for 2 down to 14. And I think this is Emrakul in hand on the side of Jan. 4 mana.
Sure, yeah.
The One Ring. Yeah, getting in to draw some cards. Next turn you get up to possible 6 mana or something like that. Speed bump after speed bump after speed bump, hopefully on the side now. Expedition map.
Yep, that is a map, and now he has protection for 1 turn. So that prevents at the moment 3 damage that would be on the board. Yeah. Yes, having the timely answer for the One Ring.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward because on the other hand, the expedition map also makes a lot of mana.
Yeah, it helps him to find another cloud post, for example. He can also find a glimmer post if he needs.
Can find a Boseiju, yeah.
A bunch of lands, yeah, exactly. A Boseiju also for an answer for the flute to free up his the One Ring again, if he wishes to do so.
We get another mini Kozilek's command here. Searching for some direct threats, I think. Because those are exactly the thing you kind of want on the side of Peter here. Just getting in with the creatures in the meantime. And yeah. He takes a damage.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. At the moment, this is 1 damage each turn kind of thing. Because he cannot activate the ring, and he can replace it potentially with another one that would reset it. Or, as we said, he can use the map to find a Boseiju. But there he, of course, also needs green mana.
That's true, that's true. I mean, you have the green mana afterwards
Yeah, he can now. We can do it next turn. But he anyways go for the cloud post. As you see with the Emrakul in hand, I think he's trying to ramp as fast as possible into Emrakul, which I like quite a bit. The moment we should have 10 mana on the battlefield already. So let's see if he can get there.
And maybe you get in now for a Khan or a second to One Ring, just to have some speed bumps. Yeah. Khan.
Yeah, that is a nice little
trick here.
Little trick here. You can say that, yes. Animating the One Ring to have a blocker and protecting the Karn for one turn. That makes it a little bit awkward for Peter to attack into the Karn. And then that would mean that the Karn next turn can, for example, tutor up Ensnaring Bridge or any other cards that he has in his toolbox. Or tick up even further.
Yeah, so basically Eldrazi Line Breaker, or some of those creatures are now the premier cards that Peter want to draw to put more and more pressure onto Jan's life totals.
Or a Smasher would be nice as well. The awkward thing is that the ring is indestructible, so it can block and still survive.
But you get at least some form of damage in before getting Valentini to Emrakul mana up there.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he can't play an Emrakul next turn, am I right? You are at 8, 10. You can't play any. If you play a post, it only adds 3 mana.
Yeah, the Cloud Post comes in tapped so that he cannot use it right away. If he would have another one, let's say, for example. But that would be 12 mana then.
So
it's close.
So we're looking for next turn as a possible Ulamog or something.
I think it doesn't have it in hand. Or at least I think it says Emrakul.
How the reality is getting smashed now. Or do we get another Kozilek?
Okay.
Yeah. Now it's a creature.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets to exile actually creatures, so it gets rid of the ring. But Jan, I think is not. Yeah, I mean, I think that would now
mean. Is
this
lethal?
No, I think not.
3, 4,
is it lethal?
5, 6 +6 attacks for 9, attacks for 12, attacks for 14. Yeah, that's lethal.
Wow. Is it? Crazy.
Yeah. Judge call.
True, yeah. Yeah, maybe they pack things up. It may be difficult to but let's see. But it's a good point. The pedal would not have been crackable. Let's see. Was there another way how to do it? I think he needed the pedal for the extra mana so that he could cast the Kozilek's command for exactly 4.
No, it's the reason he can't play the Line Breaker because he has no red mana.
Yeah, okay. Yes, that is true actually.
Yeah, it seems like we can't do anything here. We are in the same situation as you guys. We just informed our judge. Let's see if something happens.
Yeah, because
not.
That's actually interesting because this really determines the outcome of this match actually.
Yeah, because like the only scenario is like give both players a warning and give Peter a match loss. But Valentini actually conceded. But I doubt the judge can do anything. It should be recorded as 2-0. And Valentini has to say to himself, okay, next time I have to look at my cards, what they do. I mean, for sure, Peter will get a warning for this, but in the grand scheme of things, we can't change anything here. So
yeah. That's unfortunate because I think Jan had still a quite decent chance. I mean, potentially he had an Emrakul. I mean, he still needed a little bit more mana, but I think there's a good would have been a good chance that he could.
yeah, because with the line breaker
Gain
locked
on, yeah.
out, it's basically like 9 damage. It would have hit. I mean, I think it would still be dead on the next turn. With all this with the Scion tokens because they get all buffed.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are still some possibilities for Jan to crawl back into the game.
Yeah.
And it's no, this is for sure not the Stone Cold cheat. We know Peter a little bit personally. He's a really fair guy.
Yeah, it's an oversight for sure for both players.
Yeah, it's just handling everything quick. It will be for sure feel bad for Valentini Jan here after the information coming from of the misplay. You see worse things at PT top 8s. Yeah, it's some things just happen. It's not everything is going to be a witch hunt against any cheater. A lot of those things are just simple oversights. I mean, I've cast my fair share of creatures into how's it called? Ethos 1 canonists. It sometimes it just happens. Nothing really happened. It was a correct Lotus Petal under a can. It's but yeah, let's switch up our faces a little bit while I will do everything to have the correct names for the second quarterfinals that we can watch now. We have now Pilgrim on the left side and on the right side, Thomas Flutschik. And Thomas Flutschik is playing Cephalid. No, he's playing Blue-White Templar.
Blue-White Riddler, yeah. Oh, Blue-White Templar, yeah.
And on the left side, we
Pilgrim
have
Johannes is...
Is it the Oops guy?
Let's see, I'm not sure.
Pilgrim is playing Aluren.
Aluren, yeah. So we have Aluren against Blue-White Tempo. That should be also interesting to watch. I have to say, I was always a little bit, I don't know, not so excited and impressed by the new version of this Aluren deck. But somehow, it still manages to win a couple of times. We see it also on and a little bit. But yeah, now it manages to get into this top 8, which is, I think, quite cool to see. And Blue-White Tempo from Tomasz is also, I think, just overall a very nice deck. I'm very surprised that it somehow still is quite viable, because with the recent printing of Flow State, I personally think that it does not quite fit directly into this Blue-White Tempo deck as is. And also Tomasz does not play it in his version. But still, it fares quite strong with good old combination of Riddler and Failure, and good removal spells. And if you play blue and white, both, you have also access to Lavinia, and it is something that is quite strong against Tron, for example, which is also something that you have to expect quite a bit. And we will need to check if it's actually the second or third game that they are playing.
We will get this information shortly.
Yeah.
Okay. Seems like I can't get the deck from Johannes Pilgrim in there. I do not know how. I do not know why. But you have to live with our words here. But you can see via the Stream Deck extension at least the deck from Thomas.
Do we know if it's the second or the third match? And I think we can tell them to start.
Yeah. So let's see how those how those will play.
Maybe it's maybe it's Johannes. Maybe it's game 2 actually, and Johannes is up one game. Let's see. That's actually the
okay, that's actually the semifinals. Okay.
We are already in the
stream is moving quick.
So for the short confusion, it seems that in the back ends all the quarterfinals have finalized, and we are actually in the semis now. Yeah, so actually Pilgrim, won over Robert Stark in quite fast fashion, I would say, and also Tomasz won over Esteban in the quarterfinals. So we now have those two battling against each other for the slot of the finals.
That means we have Rehmann as the standing German, and I think this is actually the Oops guy. But yeah, let's worry about the match that we have currently ongoing here. We see a Stifle on the land. Is this actually something that you want to do in this matchup?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. If I can stifle a fetch land, usually I would do it. Absolutely.
Because like Aluren is with the new version, there are like specific trigger points where you can interact with, because like Azurek is the Soulwing edition. It's like the Azurek return trigger, the central piece in this matchup a little bit because of all the consigns, the stifles.
Yeah, but there's 4 copies of Azurek right now. I would not wait. If I can get value of the Stifle, I think you have to cash it in as soon as possible. And I would not bet to have it in during the combo. It's like waiting for the Cephalid breakfast combo to go off and then something doing about it. I think it's just better to have that Stifle cashed in now and stifle the development, right? You are playing a blue-white tempo deck, and this is exactly what you want to do. You want to stifle fetch lands, and you want to deploy your Riddlers and combine it with Failure, for example, in advance before Aluren is actually being cast. So I think that's a very, very, very correct thing to do here.
And yeah, we've seen here the Failure being discarded, which should basically indicate Failure being on the way on the next turn, or
for
on the
example,
next end.
Yeah. Or he thinks that Failure alone maybe is not that impactful. So there's a couple of possibilities, yes. And now I think this is a little bit the showing. Tomasz was on the play. He had the Stifle already as early as turn 1 ready, and now he has 3 lands versus Johannes, which is only having 1 land at the moment. And Thomas can utilize his mana to cantrip and sculpt his hand, which is, I think, quite nice for him.
Yeah, you have to filter for interaction, counter magic to combat what Johannes can do on the next or on future turns, because this one is a day's proof actually stock up. Okay, just sculpting on the other side as well.
Yeah, stock up is still nice, and I like it that Thomas chose to daze it, because I think we know that Thomas, I think, has also a wasteland in his deck, so he likes that he cashes in the Lotus Petal, because then the wasteland at the next turn can exactly deal with the Ancient Tomb, but now he's back to 1 mana still. So double dazing, I think, was the case for Thomas on the stock up, and I like it.
Are you agreeing with still not developing a threat?
Yeah, I think it's fine actually. Johannes with the tomb and the pedal invested quite a bit, and I think it's fine. You wanna really go along with that mana denial plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now he has found at least a Riddler. Yeah, it's for the moment it's just a cycler for 2 mana, but can come down later on and be an actual threat.
Yeah, but you don't really want to out-tap yourself as Thomas here. Or are there strictly nearly no downsides?
Yeah, it just would represent okay that there's no more stifles, for example. And well, I think the opponent only had 1 mana. I think there's quite a low chance that he would be able to, again go for, another fast. For example, Aluren cost 4 mana, right? He would have needed quite a bit of like petals and another ancient tomb, for example. It's quite safe to untap for 1 turn, for example, here. And yeah, anyways, he untaps now and gets to ponder and find a Tamio.
And showing the Caracas here. I think it would be a nice surprise to show it in of a show and tell. Because there are still some other lands left in the hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, the resources are pretty slim on the side of Tomasz here. I mean,
Yeah, he's still a force of will, which is nice. He can at this point still counter an Aluren, for example, or show and tell, which he definitely would like to do. And on the side, he has his Temio ongoing, and the next turn he can also potentially, with another land that he has already in hand, can cast the Riddler. That is then.
Do you cast a Riddler? Or do you, if you draw a blue card, keep like Hardcast Force of Will and Pitchcast Force of Will up and drawing end of turn some cards?
This would be a different situation, yes, of course. Now in this spot, I would expect that this will prompt the Force of Will. Because, well, you could also say, okay, I'm letting it resolve, but if I would not be so happy if my opponent then reveals an Atraxa. Yes, I can bounce it with Caracas, but the opponent still having the Atraxa trigger is not so nice.
Okay.
This is interesting. Yeah, I actually chose to bounce the Temio and then use it as a pitch card. Interesting.
And here you may go just for the Riddler to hope to draw a blue card. Am I right? You need a threat, you need to develop something. I mean, Faelia is still something that can develop here. You have the Hardcast Force of Will up on the side of Tomasz. And everything is just in there to keep Johannes doing from.
Yeah, I like the Riddler here. Yeah, I think it's fine actually. Opponents, if there's not exactly another show and tell now, maybe there's a Luren actually. Yeah, this would now. This of course resolves. And I guess it's an Atraxa. Oh, Omniscience even, okay.
And then we go Asara Brr.
Atraxa, yeah.
Now we're single. Yeah, but you have to do it on the side of Tomasz because you have to progress.
You don't have to do it, but I think it's deciding, okay, what is the best strategy, what is the best odds that I give myself. He could have hold up the Hardcast Force in between, but then he's not really advancing the board.
I mean, he could have played the dog, basically, the Faelia, but it's still so minuscule pressure.
Yeah, exactly. I really like it that he has 1 force, and there's a pretty high chance that he could also draw a blue card off of the Riddler trigger. That's what I'm saying. I think it's not, you sometimes have to get, put yourself in the position to actually get lucky also in that sense. So, waiting and not casting it, therefore having just the force backup, I think it would be a little bit too passive in my opinion, as the tempo deck in that spot. Especially my opponent already cast Stocker show until the last turn, so I don't think I would have also gone for the same play. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a 50-50 of drawing a blue card off top of your deck roundabout. a little bit less, but you have to advance your board. You have to advance your game position in here. But yeah, let's look a little bit at what Johannes can do. For us, we have the deck list. For you, unfortunately, not. In the sideboard, we have 2 Consigned to Memory, a Ravenous Trap, 2 Force of Vigor, 3 Carpet of Flowers, 2 Veil of Summer, 2 Force of Negation, a Graph Digger's Cage, a Pipping Needle, and a Blue Elemental Blast on the side of Johannes. Are there any cards that are particularly interesting?
Yes, absolutely. I like the Carpet of Flowers that deal with that super nicely against this blue deck, of course. Wheel of Summers are quite nice, also as an extra protection card for any counter spells. But that would be about it, I think, from the side from Johannes that he could bring in. And on the side from Thomas, we have potentially, I like Containment Priests. Yeah. Containment Priests is okay, I would say, because it deals with a little bit show and tell into a creature, right? Into a Traxa. This particular interaction, it doesn't, of course, not turn off the Aluren part of it. So that's, 50 part of that would be okay. Yeah, and the Damping Sphere is a nice one because it just makes sure that the combo is actually not being able to execute because each time you actually have to pay 1 extra card. Yeah, Force of Negation, another one that allows Tomasz to have another counter magic that he really like to have in this game.
What do you think about Lavinia? Because Lavinia, we've seen matchups today where it's insanely good. I think it's just okay.
No, it's really good actually, right? Because it disables the combo as well, Aluren. Because you cannot. Yes, Lavinia would also be definitely coming in. It kind of shuts off Omniscience, it shuts off Aluren. So, and also got the counter magic that Johannes has from his point of view. So I think it's quite strong.
So you can cheat it in of your opponent's Aluren in response to an Azarak trigger, for example, and then the Aluren is basically dead.
Yeah, potentially, exactly.
Yeah, that's really, really sweet.
That's nice. Yeah.
So let's hope that Thomas draws the Lavinia so we get to a quick and easy game 3, am I right?
Yeah. But right now we had a pretty strong and easy win for Aluren in that case. I mean, he had quite strong. I mean, I think you also have to have it in that games. I tried at least Omnitel actually a couple of times back in the time, and I never really draw any show and tell. That's probably not for me. But yeah, this was a nice showing of what the deck can do.
Yeah, and let's see how this one fares. I think they're both on a mulligan. And 3 plus 2 plus 2 is 7. We have a Wasteland in here. We have the Damping Sphere.
Yeah, the Damping Sphere is for sure pretty strong if it gets to deploy that, and he has at least 2 lands. So turn 2 Damping Sphere, yeah, I would be pretty happy if I had that, which is pretty impactful for this matchup.
Yeah, maybe it even forces out the force on the side of Johannes, because it can be really, really tough. Sometimes Johannes wants to dig, I think, with those stock ups and directly fires out a show and tell. And there it can be pretty tough. Wasteland proof.
Wasteland proof, yeah.
So now Tomasz is playing around the wastelands. The stifles here in response to the fetch.
Yeah. It's pretty good thing and safe thing to do. He doesn't want a position where he doesn't have any lands in play because he needs quite a few mana. He needs to get across this 3-4 mana point.
Yeah.
Because he needs Aluren or show and tell. Ideally all days proof potentially. Yeah. But this, if that stays this damping sphere, then it's not definitely not over or something like that. It's just a very strong and potent card that disables the Aluren plus Azara combo. Johannes still has access, remember, to Show and Tell into Atraxa, for example. That is still quite strong. So this is another angle that the deck still has access to.
And I mean, you still can cast Azarak a few times
Yeah.
to generate some value in there. I mean, it costs 0, 1, 2.
Yeah. I mean, you can get a little bit of value, but yeah, that it's not definitely not an auto win in that case.
Yeah, this is a biffing deal. For 2 life.
I would assume naming Wasteland because he wants to protect the Ancient Tomb. That's my guess. Especially when Thomas already has it on the battlefield.
Yeah, and let's see how Thomas want to develop it. I think we for sure see. I mean, you can go for the perfect brainstorm or the Riddler here. What would be your preferred choice?
I would also like the Brainstorm here. Just to have it. The Riddler would, in that case, likely dig up a failure first or stifle to pair against it, not cycle it just yet. He can also use it as a force pitch card if he needs it. So I like the Brainstorm.
Okay, now you have a lot actually in hand.
I think the question will be if he wants to keep the Surgical in hand, potentially snag something. It looks like he wants to keep it somehow. Because Surgical could be hit or miss, kind of. Depends on which part of the combo you find. Sometimes the opponent actually, has the Veil of Summer and a couple of protection spells while the first spell is being cast. So, Surgical is not that good if it's the first payoff spell is the winning payoff spell. He needs to be able to counter the first and then extract something. But let's see what he will utilize it for. And yeah, at the moment, Riddler is, I think, back shuffled on top of the deck at the moment.
Yeah, it's currently the top card of Thomas's library.
Yeah.
We've seen the second Brainstorm with 2 new cards and the Riddler. We've seen a land and another Riddler. So.
Yeah. We could put back one Riddler and yeah, either a land I would probably keep. I'm not sure if he wants to keep the Surgical.
Yeah, it doesn't really impact everything.
Yeah.
Something that is going around here.
I'm thinking also Surgical Riddler.
And the second Riddler.
Yeah, because then with that now he has also double force active. He can not hard cast Force of Negation. Doesn't have 2 mana this turn around, but he can pitch cast 2 forces if he needs it. And pay for the second copy because also his spells are text with the Damping Sphere. It's both-sided effect.
Do you give up the stock up? I think so. Am I right? I mean, it really depends on how many lands Johannes currently has. But you would trade. I mean, you can't hardcast the Force of Negation, yeah.
You cannot, no. You would need to. I think we can just force it because there's still 1 mana floating from Johannes' side. And
no, currently there's none because of the Hedge Maze. Now you can daze it.
But I think didn't he had 4 mana?
No, because of the Damping Sphere, Ancient Tomb only makes 1.
Yeah. True. This explains it. Yeah. So you can actually daze it. Yeah. Now, especially now, because Johannes opted to go for the Hedge Maze. Yeah. Then he can actually daze it. Yeah.
really, really nice from Thomas to actually bait out the fetch for the Hedgemaze in here. Yeah, a little bit greedy on the side of Johannes to go for the Surveil, but yeah, correct position acquired on the side of Thomas here.
Yeah. I think we have to update our scores actually. Johannes won one more game. It's actually the second game, and Johannes has won the first one in these semifinals.
And now we get Thomas into position, going for to position himself a little bit into the win. With the time you will get clues on the next few turns. You still have the Force of Will acquired in your hand. The Damping Sphere doesn't really matter anymore against the Soul Ancient Tomb, but you still have to respect the Damping Sphere with Azarak in the position here. So what are you looking, if you would have piloted Johannes' deck, what are the cards that you are looking into?
Best combination would be Show Entry into Atraxa, in my opinion. Because that plays around the Damping Sphere. However, on the other side, there's a Caracas on Thomas's side. So it's tricky, but I think I still like it because, the Atraxa trigger is still so valuable. You get so many cards off of it. And we can see actually if there's an answer to the Damping Sphere in the deck. There's one Boseiju that we know about. Yeah, that would be probably it.
Yes, that's about it what he can do. But there are not really any protection pieces on the side of Thomas against.
Yeah, this combination of Damping Sphere plus Caracas is quite nice. Okay, this was a Brainstorm being cast from Johannes, followed up by Stock Up, which costs now 4 mana because of the Damping Sphere. And 2 life.
Yeah, but if you force and put in a Faelia, you're looking quite good on the side of Thomas now.
But actually, it doesn't have to pay life. I think he can use the mana ability from the Damping Sphere that is awarded.
No, it just makes 1. Instead of the mana.
Yes, so you have to pay life,
Yes, it just overrides what it does. It has the mana ability with just only 1 instead of 2 colorless mana. I mean, hardcast Force of Will is such a big trap here. But yeah, we have Thomas most likely taking with both of those and flickering the Tamio to get some additional value. Or we're doing the value stuff.
Yeah, this Riddler combination with Failure is definitely quite nice to have. Yeah, that is something that Thomas really wants to see. He gets now to attack and flicker the Riddler. Yeah. That draws him another card when it comes back into the battlefield and stays then also on the battlefield as another threat.
Gains another clue, but I think he forgot this one.
Yeah, that's a trigger maybe I forgot. This is competitive, so if it's missed, then it's missed. But let's see if he still acknowledges it. Or maybe he's still thinking about something. But other than that, yeah, this Riddler now being firmly on the battlefield means that there's definitely only, I think, 1 or 2 turns now left that Johannes has in order to find something. Also, the Ancient Tomb don't look that great anymore because each time he would lose another 2 life.
Yeah. I'm pretty unsure why Thomas always does like a main phase bounce on or in this case, did the main phase bounce on the Tamio?
Yeah, I think it was not directly necessary at this point.
Now we have the show and tell.
Just one attempt from Jonas' side. That will be met with an Force of Will. Obviously, there's another one that would be ready. You can also pay for that with the Damping Sphere.
And tapping the Ancient Tomb is actually meaning death on the side of Johannes on the next turn.
Yeah. If he wants to have another draw step, he cannot use the Ancient Tomb right now. Otherwise, he's just dead on board.
And I think he has only 4 cards in hand, which means if he wants to force, you
and
can't
also
do anything again.
Also, the next card, if he wants to play another spell, is costing 1 additional mana.
Yeah, the first force would be 1 and the second force would be 2 mana.
Yeah. So, I mean, he still could go, if he would have another show and tell, he could go for that on the same turn into Atraxa, for example. But then he still would lose because of the Caracas. So now, Johannes should be able. He would survive now 1 turn again because this is 7 power on board currently.
Do we actually know what this Piffing Needle is on?
I would assume Wasteland because it was
the only thing in play.
Yes. But right now at this stage, it's not very that impactful anymore.
Yeah, it's because like the Wasteland on one of the lands could be quite good on the side of Thomas here. Because like the Ancient Tomb is pretty much turned off here. Now you don't exile anything here.
Yeah. Pretty sure he just wants to make sure that Johannes cannot use the Ancient Tomb for his turn.
Yes. And you have the multiple forces up. And no, it's not the power move. He uses exactly 50% of the playment. The middle of the Austrian Legacy League logo is exactly the middle ground, but he extended his board exactly to the basically the if we have war into the war zone, basically.
So that should mean we have now game 3 coming soon.
Yeah, it's moving really, really quickly, I want to say. I do not know when we started with the quarterfinals, but we had a pretty quick 2 games quarterfinal, jumping right into the semifinals. Now backup semifinals are already preparing. So afterwards we get really, really quickly into the next round. And I think, Daniel, can you grab me again out of there? to get in some liquid. Even though it would be possible if it's 3/3 and 1, because the second spell costs 1 mana and the third spell costs 2 mana. And if the first one would have been a brainstorm, you pay 1 for the brainstorm, 1 for the first force, and 2 for the second force, which would be exactly 4 mana in play. I know my Damping Sphere maths. I played against Damping Sphere a lot with Gift Storm back in 2018-19 modern. So yeah, Damping Sphere was one hell of a card, but you can storm through there.
Probably they're taking a short toilet break or something like that.
Just going outside, smoking a cigarette together, talking about the matchup, how they want us, going for a lunch,
the things that you do before, playing the semifinals of the Austrian Legacy Masters.
Going for a small kebab together.
Yeah. Are you having a favorite of this matchup?
it feels on the one hand that this game currently was really well controlled on the side of Thomas, but I think it was one slip away on the side for Johannes that he would have won. It's always against control against something else. It's like the one card, if it goes through, the game is over. And Thomas drew like 3 force of wills or force effects.
Yeah.
And if he draws one too
Yeah.
little, it's gonna be GG.
I mean, would you be your favorite to win now in this third game?
It depends.
Do you root for anybody, or do you say, okay, I don't mind?
I mean, I really like the blue-white deck, but we have a tropical island for first, so I'm rooting for Johannes here.
Okay, because it would fit into the
yeah, it would exactly fit into the deck.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
let's see.
I mean, on the play, I would favor Johannes here because Thomas has to have a really, really specific hand. Johannes can go for the turn 1 show and tell. There is a lot that actually can go wrong on the side for Johannes there. So it really depends. We see the consign to memory in the hand of Thomas. But yeah, it all depends. We also see the containment priest, the double days, the consign to memory. We have a lot of cards that Thomas can play against Johannes, but I mean it's exactly against Oops. If they have it, they have it. I mean they have it to a really, really small percentage point, but it's still a possibility.
Yeah,
that
like a turn 1, Tomb into battle, into show and tell,
into Omniscience, into Aluren. I mean,
for
it's
example,
only 5 cards. I mean,
yeah, asking for nothing basically.
Yeah.
That would be very insane to see if that actually is happening.
I mean, you have to mulligan to it, then, right?
Actually, yeah, easy. That's
you need only one of those.
Yeah. Yes. Not 3. Come on. Okay. Yeah. Probably that means Johannes won't keep this hand.
I mean, 5 cards are enough.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, Show and Tell, Aluren,
that's right.
Azurak.
Yes. It would be 5.
Pact of Negation.
Yeah.
I mean, force of will blue card.
And you can also exchange Aluren with Omniscience if you want.
Yes, to don't allow Thomas to play the Containment Priest. I mean, it's...
Yeah, well, the Containment Priest wouldn't do anything against Aluren.
And Omniscience. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's really interesting. We've seen a really good hand on the side of Thomas, and we really hope that we see a playable hand on the side of Johannes. Being on the play is kind of good, but if you're mulliganing, it's going down to 5. That's on the play against the counter deck.
That of course hurts. Yeah. That hurts quite a bit.
Down 3 cards is not really the thing that Johannes wants to.
Yeah.
So how do you think that the match should now go? Is it like hoping that stock ups are really good?
But yeah, I think a couple of stock ups could help him. Because one thing that Thomas does not have at the moment from looking at his hand is a really fast clock. He has more reactive cards, and this Containment Priest, yes, I mean, it can attack for 2, but it's not the most substantial clock. So he's sitting at the moment that these reactive cards. What, however, he has, because I'm just seeing it now, I think he has a Quantum Riddler and Consign to Memory, so he could develop a fast Quantum Riddler on turn 3, potentially. But yeah, Johannes needs some kind of stock ups. I think he's now on the multi 4. He has now 4 cards in hand still. So yeah, not the best start, definitely not from Johannes. But we see a nice and good habit. If you know that you're playing against Stifle, fetch immediately. It is very important to do. You need to adjust your playstyle based on what you're expecting to face against. And you don't want to get Stifled, especially when you're multi 4.
Yeah, this one is nice. do we see the force of will here? And this is exactly a hand, actually, I think, on the side of Thomas, where he doesn't really have the hard counter magic, where it's more easily for Johannes to slip something through.
Yeah.
At Days, especially with a carpet of flowers out there.
Yeah. He has 2 copies of Days in the hand, but in the face of carpet of flowers, they would soon become not so impactful anymore. And I also could see that Thomas decides to not crack this fetch land, to not give another blue mana to his opponent.
Yeah, and I think the Scalding Tarn actually is pretty awkward, because at least if you have the Flutter Strand, you go for the basic planes and deny your opponent the mana for each turn. And is this actually a ponder?
I think it is, yeah. Like an other, what there's this kind of
The future side.
Yeah, this kind of future side version, yeah. That was used of the carpet mana. So I'm assuming that this now just means that Tomasz is going for an end step Containment Priest to get some clock going. Because the other cards in hand are mostly, there's only the Riddler, the Consign, and a couple of Daisies left, but more or less.
Yeah. I mean, as it was mentioned previously, we usually don't not spreading force of wills during shuffle is fishy, yeah, but as we can see here, with the shuffling, the top of the deck always changed. There was a lot of changing around in the deck, and I for myself can say that deck looks cleanly shuffled afterwards. It's an awkward habit, it looks fishy, but it doesn't do anything to your deck.
It should not, yeah. Tournament rules say you have to sufficiently randomize your deck during each shuffle, so it should not matter, actually. It's the same with the pile shuffling at the beginning. It actually should not be used to really shuffle, but to count the cards. It's the only exception that this is allowed, actually. It should not matter at all for the ordering and the shuffling of the deck. Containment Priest now is the one Miser clock that Tomasz is going. And now actually really almost contemplating 75% of the he's really conquering the opponent. He's advancing further and further. He wants to get in there.
So basically, guys, we don't need the advancement
Yeah.
bar. We see the creature base
Exactly, yeah.
of Thomas.
It's only mattering. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know how many cards that Johannes has at the moment.
And yeah, getting in for 2, getting the card advantage now on the side of Thomas with the clue token, getting to flip Tamio.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
That is quite strong. Flip Tamio means that he can also rebuy any force of wills or later counter spells that he might need to use to stop Johannes.
Yeah, and now he also has the prismatic ending in there to actually get rid of the carpet of flowers. Should stifle the development of Johannes even further.
Yeah, this carpet was one potential way how he could still win, in my opinion, through that Malt of War. It was actually quite nice 4-card hand, I would say. Now the answer is on the battlefield. This Flip Tamio is also slowly ticking up to potential ultimate. Slowly, Johannes now really needs to find a combo that is workable through the Containment Priest, so not show and tell into Atraxa, for example.
Yes.
So he is looking to find an Aluren and and Nazareth potentially, but he also needs to contemplate that Thomas might have Force of Will or some kind of counter magic at this point in his hand.
So you're basically looking at like show and tell into Omniscience, into stock up with Force of Will. And an Ancient Tomb to be double days brew.
Yeah, something like that. And
Yeah,
that's, I think he's not too much cards at this point.
This one is good.
That is quite good. And I could see potentially going for a double days.
No, I think a really neat play would be to stifle the main phase trigger and then rebuy the prismatic ending once again.
Prismatic ending, yeah, it depends on what you value most, the 2 daisies in your hand and the stifle, or you could also say, okay, I want to uptick Tamio for a faster ultimate. That is something that is the possibilities. And yeah.
Yeah, it will be really interesting.
I like the double days kind of in this spot.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, did he let it resolve actually?
Yes.
I think he let it resolve. Yeah, now. Yeah, because Johannes followed it up by Fetchland.
Yeah, and there are only 2 cards in the hand of Johannes.
Yeah, that's fine also. I mean, it kind of now means that the stasis would be the pitch cards for the forces at this point, which is fine. It's quite fun to do also. Because likely with that carpet on the battlefield, those daisies alone are not very impactful anymore. And I guess, yeah, Thomas is... Yeah, there's a little bit unfortunate for Johannes. He went too soon with revealing this Aluren because Thomas was thinking on the stifle.
And he gets the stifle value on the Fetchland now.
Yeah.
Really, really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets back the prismatic ending.
Which would be in exile, of course, not in the graveyard. Should maybe have that corrected.
No, he just bounces it to hand and then replaces it again. So it's in the graveyard again from Tamio.
The carpet of Last should be next.
The carpets should be in
but
exile.
It should not. It maybe matters because of... I don't know if there's an... I think it doesn't matter too much. Actually.
There should be no...
but it's
Murktides.
it's the... Yeah, exactly. I was thinking of that, but no.
Yeah.
It should be fine.
It's a little bit insult to injury against Johannes.
Yeah.
To correct them there again. But yeah, we have the going in for 2 every turn on the side of Thomas. Slowly clocking in. Attacking with the priest. And yeah. What does he do? Does he warp in a Riddler, draw another card?
Mm-hmm. Quite good. Perfectly, he finds the consign that he potentially can use. Okay, he bounces actually the Riddler with the fairy. And Johannes says, okay, have enough, and backs it up.
Yeah, and he needed the Aluren to resolve to have the Azarak. He had both cards in hand, couldn't play anything through.
I think it was just unfortunate, this multi-4, that he had to face. I think Johannes still played quite well and tried his best to still make it work. He didn't just quite have the tools and the resources available. But yeah, quite respectful still. But it means that Blue-White is in the finals.
Yeah, and it's really sweet for Thomas. I think this is not his first hooray in the final of an Austrian Legacy Masters event. I think like 1 or 2 years ago. Yeah. I think 2 or 3 years actually ago, he went in the finals. He's a mainstay at our tournaments. He travels always there from the Czech Republic, am I right?
Yeah.
And yeah, we really love to have him here. We also have a backup match. We know that around 15 minutes ago, Peter Csishmadia, our guy from Hungary, is 1-0 with Breakfast against
Lobotka, I think, is
Peter
on
Lobotka
Eldrazi.
on Eldrazi.
Stompy, yeah. We will get confirmation what the status is of that match. Maybe we can have a look if we can get this on the screen going.
Which would be actually nice, but in between, switch up to the bigger version of us in here. So we have now one half of the final pairing.
Yeah.
The one half of the final pairing is blue,
Yeah.
white tempo on Thomas Flitschek.
Yeah.
We know the backup match. We have Peter
Yeah.
Csikszentmihalyi against Peter Lobotka, Eldrazi versus Cephalid Breakfast.
Yeah.
What are your expectations to see as an opposing pairing?
Yeah, at the moment we know that Peter is up one game. Maybe they are playing the second game. I think Breakfast has a decent chance to beat Eldrazi. They don't have too many interactive tools. The Chalice can be quite important, and Kozilek's command can be quite good for the Eldrazi deck. But I think it's anybody's game. I would think that Breakfast is a little bit ahead if it doesn't, brick in drawing too many Narcomoebas or something like that. But if Breakfast advances, for example, then it would be quite a challenging thing in the finals, because I think this blue-white failure deck has very, very strong tools to fight against Breakfast. A lot of stifles, a lot of removal spells, wastelands. That would be a very tough opponent for Breakfast, absolutely. And also, I think on Thomas's side, that is now one of the finalists, he really likes potentially to have Breakfast as an opponent as opposed to Eldrazi, I would think, just because he has so many interactive tools that he can use against this version. But let's see. Eldrazi can also potentially win. It's not out of the world, absolutely not. And it will be very interesting to see how that is advancing.
Yeah, I'm really excited, mostly because at least one Peter's in the final. But
yeah, at least one Peter's in the final. Yeah,
but yeah, we will see if the finals is Tundra Town or it's the almighty colorless Eldrazi versus. I really want to say the fairest of the fairest tempo decks, but stifling your own reduce the triggers to not get rid of your creatures is not really that fair.
Yeah.
But in the end, this is a really fair deck.
Yeah. So maybe, yeah, we have a short update from game number 2 in the backup match. It seems that Peter Lobotka is a little bit ahead, so it might be that we have actually turn a game 3.
Yes, will be exciting to see the second pairing also coming into the finish. And yeah, we'll look forward how the second semifinal will end or will not end, so we can watch it together with you guys. So at least thanks for tuning in. We are here for at least more. Okay, we get the match in a short amount of time. We have Peter Lobotka on the left side, Peter Csikszentmihalyi on the right side, 1-1, everything on the line. Final, duel secured or not.
Cool.
That's
nice. That will be very interesting. Game 3, and that means that Cephalid Breakfast is on the play. And that is quite important for sure. Because it means that he has potentially his days or his one drop ready before the opponent can deploy a Chalice of the Void. That can be one crucial thing. For example, if he gets to play turn 1 Nomads and Core, have that ready under the Chalice. That is something that is very important for sure to see. Let's see how this will be going. I'm very excited to watch that now.
Yeah, as Daniel already said, starting player in the final game of the semifinals is Peter Csikszentmihalyi. So I mean, we talked about you think Peter Peter Tschishmadia is a little bit favored in there. But how do you feel that the match will go? Is it like jamming the combo on the side of Peter and just countering the how is it called? The Cossadex command, or do you think it's a little bit more back and forth, especially after sideboarding?
Yeah, there are for sure more reactive cards from Peter that we were bringing. I'm pretty sure he has some access to some consigned memory, which is one of the premium cards that you really want to have when you face a deck like Eldrazi. It depends on if he contemplates on keeping quite a slower and reactive hands. It can also be that he has basically Nomads in Coin to Illusionist turn 2 and then just win turn 2. That's also possible. So I think it's quite decided by the starting hand in that sense.
For this edition, we have a fully booked out today main event, 64 players, nearly booked out side event or second main event for tomorrow, around 60 players. Yesterday we had 41 registered players for the warm-up FNM. So
Quite
if you
nice.
count it together, it's 160 seats. But yeah, a lot of players playing all 3 of those. So really exciting weekend. And yeah, we've seen, is it a searching on the side of Peter?
Yeah, I think it's still in sideboarding decision. He now decides to not bring in one of his Saint Catherine. I think St. Catherine can be quite strong against Eldrazi because it's quite tough for them to deal with. But I also see maybe he thinks, okay, I'm on the play, I need to be fast with the combo. And it's might be a little bit awkward when you draw it and you cannot miracle it right away. So that's might think, okay, I'm siding it out still and go for something different instead.
Yeah, and here there is another card that was always so in the thing with Lavinia, and this was whenever an opponent or a player casts a spell without paying any colored mana for it, counter it. Do you know the Void Mirror?
Void Mirror, yeah.
This would be insane against Eldrazi.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think it means if you didn't pay any colored mana, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I don't think that he has it, right?
No, it's unfortunately not really present in the current meta. There were some, but I think especially in such a Tron heavy meta game, it would make sense if some decks would pivot to it.
The problem for the blue decks itself, it also turns off your forces. That's something that is not ideal. So because it's not a one-sided effect.
So you have to play Damping Sphere. So you can play a spell before, so you have to pay 1 mana for your force of it.
And then it needs to be colored.
Yes.
Then it works out just fine. Yeah, I mean the Damping Sphere alone would be already quite okay against Tron. So I like this one.
That's true. But yeah, here we have it. I think it's a 1 land on the side of Peter.
Yeah.
Oh, Tschishmadia.
It's a Peter mirror. We have to specify a little bit more.
On the side of Cephalid Breakfast.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can keep it. I think there is at least the Illusionist in there. You have to brainstorm. You have a Ponder. I mean, it's Island Ponder Keep.
Absolutely, yeah. I think at this point he might know that Peter Lobotka with Eldrazi does not play in the Wastelands, so he can also safely go for the dual lands. It's actually the version that opts for the Hamlets instead of the Wastelands. That is also one of the more recently printed cards that is added to the pool of possible cards to play in Legacy. And it's quite solid, I think.
This is a Kai Alter, if I remember correctly. Kai Savatari.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's mostly looking at lands, am I right?
Yeah, definitely wants to hit his second land drop for sure. And we also see that he had Cephalid Illusionist, so he also wants to have Shuko or Nomads for a fast combo, I think. And he seems to be happy with what he sees, which is a consign to memory. Yeah, I like it. It's quite strong against Eldrazi.
This one is, I think, huge because it's Peter Loberts cannot playing something on the first turn.
Yeah.
Here indicates a little bit of a slower hand here.
Mhm.
Peter Cishmadia now having consigned to memory up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what is the niche case scenario with consigned to memory on Chalice of the Void?
Yeah, the thing is, of course, with consigned to memory, you can replicate it and then you can still counter anything, even though Chalice on the Void is, for example, on 1 on the battlefield. Yeah, they can't come up, absolutely. And now Pete Chismadia also has 2 mana up, so he can replicate once this consign, and I'm pretty sure he's just waiting to fire it off with anything that Peter Lobotka wants to put on the stack. However, there's a Cavern of Souls, which is not something that consigned to memory can deal with. If it's, for example, I'm thinking maybe of a Glaring Freshraker, for example.
But it also kind of enables the Eldrazi Line Breaker to get in hasty for 4 damage this turn, which...
Yeah, it's also a possibility. But let's see what Pete Lobotka actually has.
It's so awkward when both have the same first name. Yeah, we are in thinking territory. It really decides a lot. We see Peter's hand actually with a lot of interaction here, with the possible, the consign, the Orange Chant. I mean, Orange Chant has really text with the kicker here.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice fog.
And
Fortnotes, yeah.
Consign to memory.
Yeah, he cannot counter it, but he can consign the trigger.
The ETB trigger, yeah.
Yes, potentially, if he wants to do that. It doesn't feel great, but it could be fine. Because I think he wants to protect his Illusionist, which at the moment is the card that can pair with the Ursa Saga, because the Ursa Saga can get Shuko that would represent the A plus B combo. So I'm actually also fine with caching that just for the trigger. I think that is rather important.
Yeah, I mean, and I think he's double Force of Will or something like that.
I'm seeing 1. I think he has 2 Illusionists, 1 Force of Will, 1 Orange Chant, the Brainstorm. And yeah, I think that is it, actually.
Are there any artifacts or something that you would really despise here? I mean, Chalice, you can't cast it for 2.
What do you mean? Which artifacts?
On the side of Peter, that you maybe even want to... Are there any artifacts or stuff on the next turn that Peter Lobotka can play that Peter Chismadia maybe even wants to...
Counter?
No, Orange Chant on his opponent's turn to...
You mean on the upkeep or something like that?
Yeah.
I think I would rather keep it this 4/4 is coming each turn, and I think I would rather keep it to actually protect maybe potentially your combo. If you have your combo turn, you need to think about Kozilek's command. If we have Shuko, it's only the sorcery speed interaction, and Kozilek's command can stop the combo. So I think I would personally like to keep the Orim's Chant.
And here it actually comes up with the spells, even though they have the creature type Eldrazi, they don't get uncounterable with Cavern of Souls, which is actually really, really huge in this scenario.
The Kozilek's command, yes, of course. It's not uncountable through Cavern because it only is for creatures. Exactly.
Are we pre-attacker? Declare
I
attacker?
think it's a main phase of Peter Chismadia at this point. He's, I think, thinking on his Brainstorm potentially.
No, we are for sure in Peter Lobotka's turn because he played the second caravan. Because otherwise the trigger from the
Yes, yeah.
Urza Saga is on the stack.
Yeah,
It's awkward.
No,
Yeah.
it's a 2.
Mhm. Yeah, Peter. Chishmadir has a triple sleeve deck. And I think now you just bounce the Eldrazi, get another card drawn, or you brainstorm here and take the shuffle from the Urza Saga.
Mm-hmm. Not a Fortnite Seer. That is, I think, actually not so problematic.
I mean,
because he has 2 copies of Illusionists.
I mean, the Force of Will is now the kind of the squashing point.
Yeah, well, the problem is that Peter Lobotka doesn't have any mana anymore. So
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think that there is any free interaction. Yeah, but okay. We see in the sideboard actually a couple of fairy macabres. And potentially Mindbreak Trap. Mindbreak Trap can be very unreliable. It would not stop this combo. It needs to cast only 2 spells. But yeah, I mean, he could need to think about Fairy Macabre potentially.
Now you can put the Force of Will on top. I mean, it doesn't really...
Doesn't help for the Fairy Macabre if you want to play around it. But I think you are fine with these Fortnotes here.
Yeah, playing with top loaders, you have to have a shuffle machine or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I only accept
like
casino shuffles from
yes.
my opponents.
Yeah.
All in PSA 10 slaps. Then we can digitalize magic.
Oh no, is he grabbing a force? Oh no, shit, you cannot force it, yeah.
Okay, and now...
Okay.
I mean, the land is good. I mean, it does... I mean, the land at least protects him from Mindbreak Trap.
Yeah, well, no, also not really, right? He just needs to cast Illusionist and Dread Return. Mindbreak Trap would not be active when he goes
but
for the
if
combo.
you want to go for the...
Therapy, you mean?
If you have to go the therapy to maybe deny the Fairy Macabre.
Yeah. Then potentially yes. Then you take the force. Or the land now with he has orange charm to prevent that. Yes, that is true. So now we have...
This is the turn.
That can be the turn that we might go for the combo. It's still a little bit tricky because if you go for that, you hope, of course, that you mill the therapy before you mill the Thassa.
Yeah.
So it's still 50-50 in that sense, kind of, because there's a one of Thassa and there's a one of cover therapy in the deck.
And he is not playing the return spell. Is this one completely cut from the deck?
Memory's Journey, yeah. It was quite much played when Nado was legal, but now not really anymore. It's back to cover therapy. Going for the Orem's Chant to prevent likely only the Mindbreak Trap if there is one.
Yeah.
And now, yeah, it's a question of whether there is a Fairy Macabre in the hand of Peter Lobotka, and how the milling is going. That will be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's pretty impossible to play against Fairy Macabre. But this is something you have to think about it. If there is maybe a line where you can prevent it, it's exactly the thing you have to do if you have the time for it.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if there is a possibility to do that actually. So opponent is tapped out. You missed the land drops a couple of times. I think it is fine to go for it actually. Let's see what will actually happen. And there's this Hasus Oracle.
Okay.
So that is something, if Peter Lobotka actually has the Macabre, then he could still stop this combo. There's also the Cabal Therapy now in the graveyard, but there's no Narcomoebas just yet. This would be
Trigger?
now the first one. Okay, he just goes for it and continues.
Triggered?
He doesn't go for. Maybe he doesn't even think about potential macabre.
He can't play around it because he only has the 3 creatures in play.
I think he should have a third Narcomoeba, so he should be able.
That's true.
Yeah, it's 3 Narcomoebas, so that is no problem. But you know, I wanna just see it actually. if you find a reveal of very macabre or not, or if it actually means that we have breakfast in the finals. Let's see. Okay. Now we have.
Fairy macabre is not in the hand.
Okay. So that means, yeah, we have actually breakfast. It's the Tundra Mirror.
The Tundra Town. Welcome to the Tundra fights. We are now in the north. Larsen is here, but he is not in the final. But
at least this deck. At least this deck is in the finals.
He caught the representative to conquer Linz with Cephalid breakfast.
That is a nice final, I think. Blue-white Riddler. I think this would be quite interactive for sure. Very nice to see. Good games, I think. Yeah.
Was a really exciting time watching basically 2 quarterfinals, 2 semifinals here.
Yeah.
And Daniel and I have to take a break now up until tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
You get Felix and Philip for the finals. The lights are back turning on. That means our 2 second caster pairing is back now for you guys. They will join you right here, right now. They tell you what is going on, what they are playing for, and we can tell you it's both dual lands, and both of those are dual lands that we don't see actually in this final pairing. So I think
we just have a couple of minutes break, I think, because they put it ready, and then should be back for.
It's now finally time for the finals of the Austrian Legacy Masters. After 6 rounds of Swiss quarterfinals and semifinals, our players are done. So they are basically just hoping for the best in the finals right now. We have now Thomas Flacek on blue-white Riddler against Peter Cismadia on breakfast. It's blue-white breakfast. So 2 Tundra decks in the finals of the Austrian Legacy Masters, a 64-player event, the biggest legacy event in Austria from the last couple of years, basically. Our players are already mulliganing.
I think they're ready to go even already.
They're ready to go. So, okay. Felix, just tell the chat, how do you think this matchup will play out? And I tell them they can start.
So personally, I think I would give the edge to Thomas. The blue-white deck has so much interaction against the breakfast deck, especially now since Nado is gone. You don't have the grindy access anymore. And also, for Thomas lists, he plays 4 Stifle in the main deck.
4 Stifles, okay.
Or 3 or 4.
Which takes care of Thassa's Oracle trigger, right?
Exactly, yeah. Because usually you can play Orange Chant to tax the forces and the dazes to force Thomas to react. But now you can just like force the Orange Chant, be fine with it, and then still have Stifle up for the Thassa's Oracle trigger.
And but Peter also plays Silence or Orange Chant, right?
Yeah, you know, you play Orange Chant, then you force it, and then your force is gone.
Yeah.
But then you still have Stifle as a second piece of interaction compared to the other blue decks, right? They just have forced and daze, and you have forced daze and Stifle.
So yeah, there looks on paper
as
much as they are pretty much ahead.
Also, if Peter goes for an early Tamio, like flips it aggressively and into with Brainstorm, Thomas can use Failure to reset the Tamio. He can blink it. And then...
we have seen this also another trick. sometimes from Thomas today already, where he bounces his own Tamio with Carcass and use it for Force Father to pitch,
Yeah.
which is it's a self-explanatory trick, but I really like it. Most people wouldn't think of it that way, where, this Tamio on the battlefield already cost me a mana, already is in play, and then I use it to counter something. It's unintuitive.
Yeah, it's just using all the resources perfectly.
Yeah, it's insane. So on Thomas' side, we've got a Teferi, the
You have the four
Tamio,
ciphers.
Phelias, Quantum Riddlers, Murktide Regions, and rest filled up with good blue and white cards.
And he also plays a Force of Negation main deck, which I don't think is quite common.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Instead of the fourth days.
Yeah. Because you want to empty your hand aggressively with this Quantum Riddlers, so you can draw 2 cards more often.
So we have a turn 1 Shuku here from Peter's side. So basically, at the Austrian Legacy Masters, we have now Czech Republic versus Hungary in the
think
finals.
No Austrians made top 8, what I've heard.
Yeah, only one Austrian was in 9th place.
On
So
Breakers, yeah.
on Breakers missed the top 8. Very, very unfortunate for Austria. But nevertheless, this tournament is great, and only the best players with the best runs deserve the spot in the top 8.
And it's so great that we see so many different nationalities coming to Austria to play the Austrian Legacy Masters, even some people from Sweden.
Yeah,
sometimes I hear.
Johan Larsson, winner of the Eternal Weekend 2024. Am I right?
Yeah, I think so.
The winner of the European Legacy Masters last year was here with 2 friends of him. He was on breakfast, but he didn't fare really well, unfortunately.
Yeah, I heard they went out yesterday to enjoy some Austrian beer, so...
The thing is, in Sweden, the beer is, or alcohol in general, is insanely pricey. It's so expensive, and if they come to Austria and it's just half of it, I mean, they're pretty happy to just indulge in Austrian cuisine.
Yeah.
Let me phrase it that way. So we have a Quantum Riddler here, warped from Thomas Flacek, and now it gets blinked through failure.
Yeah, that's like the common thing this deck wants to do, like play Failure on 2, then on 3 warp Quantum Riddler, and basically cheat the 4/6 into play for 2 mana instead of 5. And now the pressure is on Peter to do something or to find something, at least the Swords to Plowshares to take care of this, which he didn't have because, of course, he would have forced the failure as well as the failure here, right?
I think he tries to go for full combo, maybe.
Yeah, failure gets the count, of course, that can't be missed because the effect was correctly resolved for most of it.
Yeah.
I mean, now Thomas is just representing so much interaction. He could have Swords to Plowshares, he could have Stifle, Force stays always, of course, but yeah, this looks like a tough spot for Peter already. Because now the Tamio can't even block the failure anymore since it's a 3/3. And of course the failure can blink the Tamio once the Riddler is safely in play.
I mean, he can still brainstorm and rescue it that way.
Yeah.
Which isn't that bad, yeah.
He's even attacking here if it's...
I mean, yeah, I think that's what he wants to do. Like attack, block, brainstorm, yeah, like I said. And just try to save it, flip it safely, get a clue out of that. That's also what we said beforehand. All try to play to your outs, to your resources.
Yeah, and what we saw here, I think, is if Peter had an untapped land instead of the Surveillance in hand, he might have tried to go for Orm's Chant and then the Cephalid to attempt a combo start at least and force Tomasz to act here. But now we see a Brainstorm instead, and there's a Cabal Therapy. Does he actually play any black sources in the deck? Can we double check? Or
I'm pretty sure they don't, because we have Flush and
Undercity Sewers and UC actually.
One Yusion and Undercity Sewers. Wow.
Are there some black Cyborg cards? No, right? Just
No,
surgical,
just 2, so they can Dredge Return.
just in case, yeah.
Cast Dredge Return hard cards. Wow. Yeah, using Undercity Sewers. That's actually a thing that I have never seen out of Breakfast.
Yeah, it's pretty, like, you freed up some space in the mana base since you're not forced to play Tundra and Hatchmates anymore, since Nardo is gone now before, right? So we have the freedom to play more creatures. I think now they didn't play Murktide back then as well, which we see in Peter's list, playing 2 Murktide region in the main deck.
Yeah, just to up the the threat
Threat count,
density.
yeah, because Fornados were great threats, and
Yeah.
now you have to play some additional ones since they are banned. And we mill an Akumiba into play.
Yeah, he put it on top with Brainstorm. I really laughed that. I really like that play here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a free 1/1 flying equipped with Shuko.
Yeah, now still, I mean, he can kill Tamio with attacking with both creatures though, and blinking the Akumiba, or just blinking the Tamio and just simply attacking face. Both works fine. There's a wasteland to be drawn for Tomasz. Yeah, life totals. I think Tomasz is on 19 and Peter also is on 19.
Yeah, something like that. We
There-
try to check this for you.
And Ophelia got blocked by Tamio last turn, so there's no how much damage to be dealt so far this game. At least 2 players. There was one UC, yeah, one UC and one Undercity Sewers in the breakfast deck.
Peter is also our only player who is triple sleeving this time.
No, there was a different player.
Was it different player?
I think the Storm player we saw in round 2 had the Storm deck also triple sleeved.
Oh, what's your opinion on triple sleeving?
I have my Commander deck triple sleeved.
Why is it so expensive?
It's full foil and beta dual lands and stuff and all the expensive
Okay,
things. So
yeah.
that's why I decided to triple sleeve it. But I usually, if I wouldn't care about the cards, I would play single sleeve just for the feel to have a small deck. But you know, I care about my cards to have them like in pretty condition, so I play double sleeved on my regular decks. But
Yeah.
my commander deck looks like twice the size of a regular commander deck. And it's triple sleeved because I use perfect heart in the sleeves, right? So
So what? That was my next question. What inner sleeves are you using, and what sleeves are you using?
I have perfect heart inner sleeves. Then I have like some rare sleeves. It was like from a movie promotional thing from Sword Art Online in like 10 years ago.
Okay.
It's like the movie image is on the sleeve in the backside, so it's bad sleeves, so I use the triple sleeve so the sleeves don't
Okay, so they don't split.
yeah, they don't split exactly.
Yeah, that's for me. That's the only reason to triple sleeve if you want to keep the
Other sleeves.
the other sleeves
Yeah.
intact. Yeah.
You're sleeving to protect the sleeves.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I have big hands, but KMC perfect fits with triple sleeves. I think I can't shuffle this
It's
anymore.
like this.
Yeah.
Like this.
It's insane.
I usually split it up in 2 piles since it's a casual format, not jam
Yeah,
format, so you can-
that's true. So here we have an attack with failure, blinking the clue.
Looks like it, yeah. Tamio triggers. So Philly is a 2/3 and Riddler is a 3/5, 3/6. Clue goes away. And I guess both creatures go on Tamio, and now you can decide if you want to throw away an Akumiba to keep Tamio alive for 1 more turn, but what is Tamio doing on the 1 or 2 loyalty? Nothing. Just plussing again next turn, so
Yeah, plus I think you just let it
Let it
kill.
die,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
having more creatures in play is nice. Now we go for Ponder that finds a daze and 2 lands, I think, and since we wasted it last turn, we can confidently draw the daze and then fetch away the last land next turn. That's the kind of Ponder I like, you know? As I said, you draw 1
Yeah.
card, draw a 2nd card, and you fetch away your 3rd card.
That's insane. Yeah.
And the therapy, being stuck in the hand, not being able to cast, since there's no
Yeah,
UC.
that's the thing. I think they are playing 2 cable therapies, 1 cable therapy. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Very, very unfortunate.
It's just like to have to force, I guess, once you go for the combos, and sometimes you get the Shuko with Saga, right? The Illusionist already in play, so
Mhm.
or of course you want your opponent to mill the entire deck and then force the dread return, and then they are empty
Yeah.
library and die. The more sleeves you use, the more frightening freaking cards in hands for the opponent.
So you should quadruple sleeve then.
Yeah, it was known he brainstormed it on top. Yeah, he had a Nakumiba, he surveilled that one, and
Yeah.
of course he had no shuffle effect. Yeah. And now we go for a combo attempt, and
I think we see a daze here. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Does he force here?
I'm not even sure you have to daze it. You can simply like swords it maybe, and then daze if there is a force.
There's another force in hand, Thomas.
Yeah, I think this game is locked up for too much
Yeah,
time.
this
Like,
game is over, unfortunately.
the life total should still be 19-19, I think, since both players fetched once, and the Tamia got likely attacked by both creatures last turn.
Yeah.
And he just lets it go, doesn't decide to fight over it. Or maybe the land was surveilled. Maybe I think the fetching was surveilled. That could be why it's 2019. So I think Tomasz played the turn 1 Surveillant and milled the fetch land.
Mm.
That could be, but maybe it should be 2020. 1919. I mean, based on what I've seen or I remember, I guess. Put it that way.
The thing is, once the resources are used up,
Mm-hmm.
then it doesn't matter how many life points someone has here.
Yeah.
It's just that game is locked up or it's not locked up.
Mm-hmm.
You're already dead, basically.
I also think Tomasz life total rarely matters this game because as long as Peter doesn't have a Murktide, there's no real way for him to put much pressure on Tomasz besides Urza's Saga, which he also doesn't have currently. And it's more about Peter's life total mattering because Tomasz is the attacking player here and Peter tries to combo him out. So, or win the game without combat damage, to put it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
And so many beautiful sign cards, and even the island with I think that's the ancestral artwork.
It's an ancestral artwork, yeah. Not the artwork, it's altered in as an ancestral recall, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful cards.
His deck is insanely beautiful. That's why he's triple sleeving it.
We are blinking the Riddler. It's an interesting play.
Yeah, just to draw a card and to put a counter on it.
Yeah, but attacking for 7 instead of 3.
Yeah, I think he just wants to draw the card to be a little bit more safe. He probably thinks that in that situation, Peter can't do anything.
Yeah, maybe it's telling that his hand isn't that great. Like that, if I'm in Peter's seat, it would give me the tell that his hand is not that great if I'm drawing with Riddler and not hitting for 6 or for 7.
Yeah, might be, yeah.
Because I want to, if I'm in Tomasz's seat, I want to close this game as soon as possible to give Peter the least amount of draws possible since he is clearly stumbling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's see what. I mean, of course, if he has like a force in hand, the game is. He has a swords, and now the swords doesn't do anything since we can always go off instant speed thanks to the nomads. So he has to counter the next illusionist or at least have double swords up.
Here we have is it a Stifle?
No, it's a Riddler again.
It's a Riddler again, okay.
Which is this time getting warped in and blinked with failure. And I think there is no interaction from him. There's just swords in hand. Or is there?
It's a force.
The most left press is a force as well. Okay, then it's pretty much locked up, I would say.
Yeah, maybe Peter just searches for land, for silence, maybe.
Yeah, we will see. Yeah, then silence is
land, and then his 3 mana can go silence into.
Oh yeah, then you force, and then you can't swords the illusionist because you will mill the deck in response. Yeah. So let's see.
So it's not over for Peter right now.
And that explains why Tomasz is flickering the Riddler, because he has only 1 force and 1 swords in hand, and no stifle, no other counter spells. And we draw again, and we find another Philia. I think that's like the 3rd Philia in his hand. And there's unfortunately no land for Peter.
Oh, but he can ponder at least.
Yeah,
it's a little bit unfortunate, because when I look at this hand, that's exactly what we went through. I mean, silence, land drop into silence into illusionist wins the game pretty much.
Yeah, I think this still wins because he has.
But he has the cable therapy in hand.
Yeah, but now here goes force, and then Peter forces back, and then the swords is useless because you have nomads.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And Juko.
That's true.
Now you force back. The question is how many Narcomi does he play? 3. So he has 1 more in the deck to get.
But it's still on. We have Shuko. Oh.
Yeah. 17 to 8. Yeah, so he's forced to go off here this turn because he will die otherwise next turn. And now Tomasz can just do swords the nomads and then die to Shuko. And he drew no stifles, only 1 force, only 1 daze. Yeah, so days instead of swords, Splotches lost the game, exactly. I think you should have clearly sworded that first illusionist. If you can daze now, like, the game is over. You kill next turn and...
He tries now to sword. Has he a 2nd sword in hand?
I think now he's trying to do like if the last Nakomiba is in the hand, because 1 is in exile, 1 is in play. So if he mills the deck, there's only 1 more Nakomiba left, and if that one is in hand, then Peter can't combo off here. That's maybe his thought process. But Peter now knows the Cephalid resolved. Now he's gonna equip it and mill the deck and
Yeah.
Okay, 8 with
Okay, now the life points are working. Wow.
Perfect.
Okay.
And we start milling our deck. And there's
With the dread return, we are searching for the next Narcomoeba.
For the last one, even.
For the last Narcomoeba, yeah.
And that's not how we thought this match is gonna go.
No, not really. I thought Thomas has locked it up. It's
Yeah.
over, basically. That's all the interactions,
I mean,
everything in hand.
He
and-
drew 3 Riddlers, I think. He drew 3 failures, and he has Tom in hand. But nothing to... No interactive cards. Only 1 Swords, only 1 Force, only 1 Daze. No Stifles to be seen.
And that's the
then there's
second one.
third. Yeah, second.
Ah,
one.
yeah. The
Third copy.
Third copy, second one. And then you simply...
Mill the rest of your deck.
You mill the rest, and now it's... Oh, it's interesting. It's interesting. You have flashback, and it's like Peter is just hoping, is there still interaction coming?
Does he have another Force of Will here?
Does he have Stifle?
Oh,
That's
Stifle, yeah,
basically
yeah.
the thing that he's looking for.
I mean, I guess if I'm in Peter's spot, I'm like, okay, show me the Stifle, and I scoop up the game, yeah, but I guess that's Tomasz picking up the cards.
Thomas picks
Tomasz,
it
yeah.
up, yeah. So 1-0 for Peter.
What a crazy game, to be honest.
Yes. I mean, it looked, I don't want to say it looked a little bit boring, because it was like, yeah, this is locked up. And then suddenly Peter drew it from behind. It's
Yeah,
insane.
like Tomasz drew no Brainstorm, just 2 Ponders, which
Yeah.
both shuffled, I think, and then like no Swords, no Force, no Stifle, and so on, no Daze. And as Chad pointed out, the first illusionist gets dazed instead of Swords. If you have Swords in the first illusionist, because there's only Shuko in place, you can do it sorcery speed only, so you can always respond with Swords. The Shuko, then the illusionist is gone, you have the Daze in this spot, you can Daze here and win the game, right?
Oh, yeah, then he's on 8 life, and it's basically over.
Of course, if Peter draws a land, he also
Yeah,
wins the game.
if Peter draws 1 land here, it's just also over, because he can silence into illusionist, and
Yeah.
that's game.
Or if Tomasz draws another relevant card, that's how Magic works, right? You sometimes don't draw everything you want to.
Yeah, that's true. Simply go a little bit over the sideboard. I think you have done this with Thomas's deck last round also. Or Daniel and
Yeah.
Peter have done this with you guys. So on Thomas's deck, we've got the Blue Elemental Blast, 3 Consigned to Memories, which will surely get brought in.
More Stifle effects, right?
More Stifle effects, Erodes, maybe to kill a Tameo,
Or an Illusionist, just having
or
more
Illusionist, more
instant
interaction. Surgical Extraction would be great. The Containment Priest is pretty good. A Damping Sphere is also pretty good, so that Breakfast can't kill you in the same turn. They have to pass the turn. A Lavinia is also pretty good,
Yeah.
because Breakfast needs at least 4 lands to go off with Dread Return.
And I don't think you can cast spells with paying.
With
paying
no
the
mana
mana
cost. Yeah. Rough Disguise might be okay against the Saga plan. A Force of Negation and a Triumph of St. Catherine. So this sideboard looked stacked.
Yeah, if I'm like Tomasz, I'm shuffling in 12 cards. Like, I don't bring in the Blue Blast and I don't bring in the Triumph, and the rest like goes straight into my deck. And the
Yeah.
question is, what do I cut? It's like,
That's the thing. What do you cut? I mean, you could cut the Teferi. I really don't like the card here.
I mean, I think it's a good card. You're stopping Peter from using Force of Will and Daze.
Yeah. One thing. So, hear me out. Putting in 12 cards in and no cards out. Sounds like a master plan, right?
Yeah, maybe boarding 3 consigns is somewhat overboarding on Stifle effects, since you have like 4 Stifle main already, and then adding 3 consigns on top of that could be too many cards of that certain effect, since it's not effective against the Stifle.
Yeah.
It's only effective against the full combo plan. And so look at Peter's sideboard. We have 2 consigned to memory, 1 Flusterstorm, 1 Piffing Needle, 1 Surgical Extraction, 1 Lavinia of his own, 2 Serenity, 1 Brazen Borrower, 2 Force of Negation, and also 2 Triumph of St. Catherine.
It's basically the same sideboard.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, what would you bring in? Maybe Brazen Borer, I don't like that.
Yeah, I think you can maybe go for Triumph of St. Catherine if you feel like you have to play this mid-range game plan because the combo gets too much disrupted. Although there's Force of Will, a Force of Assault Plowshares in your opponent's deck, which makes the card way worse since it gets exiled right away.
Yeah, and Triumphs are smaller than
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 Riddlers.
Riddlers. So
What's Serenity? Does this kill like enchantments? Or...
yeah, it kills basically all enchantments and artifacts, but you have to wait one turn. So in your upkeep, you sacrifice this and then kill everything your opponent has.
So it doesn't do anything against the blue-white
No,
deck?
no, no.
Yeah, it
nothing.
doesn't look like Peter has a lot in the sideboard. Like maybe the Flusterstorm, maybe the Brazen Borrower, maybe the Triumph, maybe the Force of Negation, although I don't like that one here.
I like the Consign to Memory.
To do what?
To if Felia blinks the Quantum Riddler to counter the trigger of the comeback trigger of Quantum Riddler.
Is this better than the Swords to Plowshares? No.
They don't get to draw a card. They don't get to.
You can also like a Swords to
Get live.
Philia, right?
You can Swords to Philia.
You
Yeah,
should
that's
force
true.
Swords to Philia, but like this feels so situational that if they have Philia and if they have the Riddler, and then you can consign the Riddler trigger.
Yeah, that's true. That's
It's
true.
like
That's true.
a lot of ifs, right?
So we have basically two direct opposite side. We have a huge sideboard on Thomas's side and almost none to board in on Peter's side.
I would be very interested to see like at the PT they have like exact how the top 8 players side. I would love to see how Thomas sides in this matchup. Like how many cards did he actually bring in? Which cards did he take out? Because like I like most of his main deck cards already. So
you know what we need? We need hand cameras or under the desk cameras and little windows in the desk where the players can put all the cards that get boards out and boarded in. There, so for the camera to see for it.
the hand cams, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, someone in chat mentioned that Blue White Tempo can play Rest in Peace, and since it's not open deck list, I mean, I guess both players have been on stream before, so in theory, you could have a look at the deck list. Like, tell your friend, okay, tell me about this deck list. Watch the stream for me, please. But Peter doesn't necessarily know that there is no Rest in Peace in the deck.
No.
from Tomasz. So maybe we see some Serenities, or at least the Brazen Borrower to like have a catch-all answer, which I guess makes it's like the bread and butter knife, right? You Brazen Borrower, oh, my deck is good. I answer for everything. I can beat every haste piece. Just put Brazen Borrower into my deck. That's why all the blue-black decks, deck play one main deck. It's like, okay, catch all and hand cam with AI reading cards in hand and updating the overlay. That would be sick.
Oh wow, yeah. Maybe in the future.
Oh wow, you see turn 1 Underground Sea, the natural
Into therapy. Wow.
getting bullied by 2/1-offs.
Yeah. Speaking of all the signed cards, what's your opinion on signed cards? People either love them or hate them.
I love them. I have all of my cards that I care about are signed, and I usually travel to events just to get like the artist. That's the main reason why I go there sometimes. How about you? I think I've also seen many of your cards being signed today.
Yeah, signs are awesome. I love altars and I love signs.
Yeah, same.
The only thing for me is just black sign. So nothing fancy, no shadow sign, no rainbow sign or anything like that. I just want pure black artist signatures. They are so beautiful.
I also do simple black signatures.
Yeah, it's
only. Yeah. Sometimes I used to do a shadow with like black and gold, but now I just do like straight up black, and that looks the cleanest.
It's
to me.
better and it's cheaper.
Yeah. Signatures get really expensive. Like remember back in the days, some artists did it for free, or you could tip how much you felt like was appropriate.
Yeah, RK Post still I think signs for free. John Avon back then when Grand Prix Birmingham was around, signed a bunch of cards for free.
Yeah, now it's like €5 for a single signature and 10 for shadow, or even sometimes 15.
Or 20 for a single Richard Import at Eternal Weekend. It was insane.
Yeah, artists are going crazy. I mean, back then Wizards paid them to come to the events, and now it's like they have to make their money. And of course, you know. But yeah, now we see back to the game. We saw Force of Will being discarded by Cover Therapy, and then Force of Will on Tomasz Lavinia, leaving him with 2 basic islands and then consigned memory in hand.
I think the Lavinia here was crucial to counter this.
Yeah, supply and demand as long as people are paying, of course. Yeah,
Yeah,
makes
that's the
sense.
thing. And also, as far as I know, the artists don't get so much money out of it because there are organizations behind who
Mhm.
brings the artists to the event, and they are also getting a piece of the cake.
Yeah, they take their share, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. But back then, Wizards paid for their trip, for the hotel, and even paid the money to attend the events. And now it's like Wizards says, "Oh,
We
if
don't
you,
care
we don't care if you come or
anymore.
not." Exactly. Yeah.
That's why we don't care about proxies. That's why
Yeah.
we enforce proxies. So, yeah, a Ponder here on Thomas's side and a Shuko on Peter. It's not much going on right now. We see here a Wasteland, a Force of Will, and I think a Swords or in the Road.
It's a yeah.
A road,
A
a
road.
road.
Yeah. Wasteland and Force a road. We know his hand is like 2 islands
A consign, and
and
that's
an unknown
basically.
card. I think it was a second ponder. I mean, Wasteland the Saga here seems kind of nice. Peter has no white mana right now. Although there's the Shuko already. So he goes for Force of Will. Then casts the second ponder to draw the Wasteland as well.
Yeah.
I like that play. And there's Fetch and Erode, so maybe
Fetch, Erode, Wasteland.
it sucks to not be able to shuffle.
Mm.
Like you have already 2 lands in play, so you would like to shuffle 2 cards away, just draw the Wasteland. But now you have to draw actually.
One of them.
And if you keep the erode, you also have to draw the fetch land. And if
Yeah.
you draw the fetch land, you can't keep the erode, and yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a lose-lose situation at this point. If you really want that wasteland. So maybe keeping the wasteland this turn and then drawing the force next time would have been better, and keeping the ponder in hand. Oh, he wastelands the
Waste and the
UC.
UC, okay.
Yeah, makes sense. You can make a construct then. And the
Yeah,
Saga
yeah,
dies.
yeah. Saga dies for
Mhm.
sure.
And it says only Shuko. There's like no payoff to get. There's I guess.
And no
Yeah.
land. Oh, Peter's missing his land drop.
So correct play by Tomasz.
So the Saga is now dead.
Gets a second Shuko, and that's it.
Float mana.
And I think I saw a Triumph in Peter's hands.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts. Drawing Triumph with no mana available.
Yeah, getting punished for that Underground Sea not being a white source, right?
Yeah. That's why you should always play a Scrubland. Scrublands are better than UCs. There you have it.
Yeah.
Case closed.
Of course, having the therapy here was insane to get rid of
Yeah.
Force of Will, but Saga is gone, mana is floated, and do we have a land to play?
Nope.
No land.
No land. Oh, that hurts. That's very, very unfortunate. It's pretty much. Okay, now we've got a land.
We're getting pretty close to hard casting Force of Will
Yeah.
territory. And Tomasz can finally get the Surveillant now. That's okay-ish for keeping the fetch land on top. You get the Surveillant, you get to fix your next draw step. Yeah. Throwing it on the table. I take your UCs, brings it up.
For 1-1 trade.
Yeah, how do you like that? If you
Nah,
think Scrublands
nah.
are superior, you should do the trade, right?
Scrublands are on plateaus. Plateaus are best tool in Legacy.
Those are the best. Okay, we will remember that.
They cast Ocelot, right? So
But Scrubland also does that.
yeah, strong contender for
Yeah.
second place.
There's fifth land, and I think he drew a second force with the Surveil, if I saw that correctly. Yeah, it looked like a second.
3 forces.
Which is kind of tricky, right? If you decide to like, I think Peter has at least 1 Nomads in play, in hand, which does nothing since you have 2 Shukos already. You can just like play it, sack it, name Force of Will again.
Oh yeah, that's true. I really like the play.
So let's see how the Surveillant finds, if it finds a second land for Peter.
We're back in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, casting Nomads, flashing back therapy, naming Force of Will.
I mean, maybe you're just like hardcast Force in the therapy now at this point, since you have 2 forces in hand.
Yeah.
You kind of have to counter it if you ever plays it. And that's likely another land. Ponder.
Ponder, okay.
I mean, that's also
Do you
fine.
force that Ponder?
I think a hardcast Force this here, yeah. Because that's like also like he didn't really shuffle his hand, so like we kind of know that was the card he put on top. So I would, yeah, I like his. Now Wasteland would be insane.
one of the
Brainstorm.
very rare situations where forcing a
Cantrip
ponder
is correct, yeah.
Yeah.
Surgical, Ponder, and Tami. Oh, that was a sick brainstorm. You can flip Tami this turn, unfortunately, but she will likely get Swords to Plowshares by Peter, but having the Surgical and the Erode now, and the Force of Will, you are really, really free. Are protected against the combo.
Yeah.
So Peter needs to draw something impactful soon, or the Tami will run away with the game because he can force the swords and then flip it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's nothing left in Peter's hand to deal with it for now. Does he play one prismatic ending? Yeah, two prismatic endings to kill Tamios.
And I think no Caracas.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't Caracas or flip Tami anyway, so
Yeah, but at least a non-flipped one in response.
Yeah. So it looks like again a solid position for Tomasz here.
Yeah, maybe it takes another turn like before.
Mm-hmm.
But this time Peter is stuck on one land right now.
I think he drew Basic Island, the Ancestral Island again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks like it. Now we go for swords.
Yeah.
Now you go force pitch. Your blue card, your consign.
And then you brainstorm? Or you can't.
He has Ponder on top.
He
So
has
you
Ponder
can
on
next turn
Flip it with
clue
clue.
and Ponder and flip it, and yeah. So your force pitch consign. The third force of will this game. Second one being cast. First card being pitched.
Yeah.
So there was one hard cast 5 mana
So we have
count as well.
everything.
All modes of
All
force of will.
modes of Force of Will.
Being discarded, being cast, and being pitch cast. Yeah. Now swords is gone, and if I'm Tomasz now with the go, I'm like really happy. Of course, he can ponder first since he knows what's on top, or he simply cracks the clue. Does like his third card was Erode and Surgical, yeah, that makes sense.
Surgical also,
to
yeah.
keep them. Mm-hmm. And that's freelance. Yeah, quick shuffle. I think a Wasteland was part of it, but drawing a Wasteland now and then drawing another land next turn is not.
No,
what I
not
want
really.
At this point, and it might be correct to just like next turn take the Tamiya down to get the force back.
Mm-hmm.
Although you're pretty protective with Surgical and swords and Erode now.
Okay, so basically everything loaded up here for Tomasz.
I think the name is.
Okay.
We did a wrong spelling.
Wrong spelling. That's fine. We can actualize it. It's not that easy sometimes.
Typos can happen. I'm sorry about that. Thanks for pointing it out in the chat.
Right.
Let me get it fixed right away.
So now it should be the
Yeah.
right name. So
Now we have to flip Tamiya and you can't source that. So what is Peter doing? Does he have at least one more Swords to Plowshares and Orm's Chant? I think it's 2 Nomads and 1 card to the left that I can't see, but it's Swords and the Illusionist. So he could go for the combo here.
mm-hmm.
And I think he looks like he feels threatened to go for the combo.
Yeah, I think he tries.
Yeah. And now you get let's sword it. Well, trigger mill free again. Okay. Oh.
Okay, double Narcomoeba. That's pretty good.
The beats are on.
Yeah.
Against the Tamiya, we can equip them with Shukos and just start bashing for only 1 though, but
At least one.
that makes minusing Tamiya way scarier.
Now they also mill free, right?
Yeah, he mills free again, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Third Nakomiba? No. Okay. So you have 2/2/1 flyers or a 3/1 flyer. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's like the same damage, right? So 2/2/1 flyers. And
So you can't safely downtick Tamiya right now. You have to uptick it.
maybe I would have liked to surgically here in response to Nakomiba triggers.
Anti-surgical Narcomoeba?
Yeah, then he can't combo anymore. Like he can't mill his deck. He has to have 3 creatures in play to play right return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
And you remove all the pressure from Tamiyo. A brainstorm is a good way to start it off. So maybe he cut all the Philias and some Riddlers. There's Rough Disguise.
Rough Disguise, yeah.
And that is brutal here since
Yeah, it kills everything.
and not Planeswalkers though.
Not Planeswalkers,
No.
really?
Just creatures, artifacts, and enchantments.
Okay, that's
Sadly, that or
yeah.
how you
Wow.
say sadly or fortunately doesn't kill planeswalkers, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So now you can just play it for X equals 2, likely buy back the force first, so you're ultra safe, and then kill the Shukus, kill the Narcomoebas, and yeah, there it is. Rough for 2. Getting 2 energy. Is there a daze in Peter's hands? There's no force, no daze.
No, it's just a planeswalker. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Peter says, oh, Tommy's gonna die, but no, Tommy's not gonna die.
He's basically the same as we.
Yeah, and now we uptick, I guess. And now we have Surgical and Daze in hand, and we are chilling as Tomasz. Tommy up to 6, I think, this turn. Maybe thinks about minusing 4 force, but with Surgical and Daze, I'm feeling pretty confident here. Because now Peter has to find land and Illusionist, but we don't know that, so we Surgical Illusionist now, I guess. Or that got exiled. So
That
maybe
got
we-
exiled. Mm-hmm.
I think he milled one. It's above the Brainstorm.
Yeah, there it is.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just do that, can he still win? I guess not really.
I guess not really. No, he has to find something like a Murktide Regent or
Mhm. We can see how he sideboarded. If there still are some Murktide regions in the deck, there's a Flusterstorm. There's the Oracle. I mean, I guess you can Tami Ultimate. And Saga tokens, of course.
Saga tokens. Yeah,
2
it's
Sagas are left. Brazen Borrower also got in. It's only Alpha Illusionists are gone now.
okay. I didn't see a Murktide.
No, me neither. Makes sense against the Swords to Plowshares in a road deck,
Mm.
right? And then he takes it back and takes out Urza's Saga again with the Tamia minus.
Ah, okay, okay, yeah.
And now
so-
all that left is our random 1/1 creatures.
Yeah, which simply Tamio
Yeah.
keeps in check.
Your Tamio does nothing, yeah. Even drawing your own Tamio. I mean, I guess you can ending the enemy's Tamio. 1 Brazen Borrower is your only win condition now.
Yeah, that's probably not enough. I think we go to game 3 right now.
I mean, since it's like untimed, you can play it out.
Yeah, you can simply play it out, yeah. Mm.
Uh-huh. The lights just went out for us.
Yeah, that's normal. That's a timer.
Ah, it's the sensor.
Yeah.
Movement sensor. Okay.
And it's back on.
Perfect. Technology.
Back in a large, yeah.
Yeah. I guess since it's like finals, you just play it out and
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Anyway.
maybe Tomasz only draws like 10 lands for the rest of the game and you win by attacking with 1/1s, but
You have to have the 1/1s.
yeah, there are 0/1s right now, right?
Yeah. I mean, what is he playing still in this deck?
I don't think there's any Murktide, so it's just like one Narcomoeba is left, 1 Oracle. In theory, you can draw your entire deck and then cast Toracle.
Yeah, that might be a plan.
Yeah, draw the entire deck, and then of course if you get a Tamio going, and then you ultimate her, you have drawn half your deck, and then you are
And then you ultimate her again and you draw
Yeah.
again half a deck.
yeah. In a dream world, he's not dead yet, but as soon as Tomasz Tamio ults, then
It's
I
over,
think
it's
it's
over,
time
yeah.
to scoop. Yeah,
Mm.
even though it's the finals, but you have to know when the game is lost, when the war is lost, right?
The match
And
is lost, not the war. the
He
match,
picks it
yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, just going to game 3.
So that's more how I expected this match. to go.
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure.
Peter tries to combo off, Tomasz disrupts him, and then in the end pulls away with Tamio, Riddler, any card advantage
Yeah.
card basically.
The thing is, Peter needs a very fast combo
Mhm.
because if he gives Thomas too much time, he will have all the interaction.
Yeah, and we saw he brought in Wrath of the Skies
Mm-hmm.
to clear up. Since sometimes you play out a Shuko, you play out a Saga, you play out a Nomad without like just to spend some mana and do something, and he can clean it up for 1 or 2 mana, and now we get. Ooh, is it all 15 cards back?
Yeah, all 15 cards back. He does this all the time. He brings in 50 cards. I'm pretty sure he does it all the time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I do it myself in like big tournaments.
Yeah.
At least for the first sideboard game, I just put everything in, and then I take out the cards I don't want. But for a third game, I just keep my deck the same, and it's like
You just keep it
wasting
the same.
time.
That,
Yeah.
don't waste the time. Yeah. Or, but if you want to change something, then you do it again with all 15, right?
I mean, I rarely change something, but there are
But
only
sometimes when you're on the play or
play
on the
and
draw, I mean, there are differences.
sometimes. Well, I don't usually play these type of decks, but
Okay. Okay.
if I do it, I don't do it. Like it's just taking out 15 cards again and putting 15 cards in, just change 1 or 2 cards. It's like
Yeah.
not worth the effort.
Yeah. That's the thing, because it would be the right thing to do,
Yeah.
because it gives away the least amount of information for your opponent. But who does it? Really? I mean, in the finals of a tournament, yeah, okay,
Yeah,
I
maybe.
see it. But elsewhere,
I also, it's like once you know the matchup, like, okay, let's say I play whatever aggressive deck against the aggressive deck, and then I take out my bad 1-drops since they
Yeah.
are in the mirror, and I put them back in the play. The opponent knows what I'm going to do since they do it themselves as well. So it's like there's, even if you don't change something, you always do it every game.
you should do it.
You
but,
should do it, yeah.
But I've rarely seen people really do it.
If you're like, it's way easier if you have a sideboard plan, so you know which cards come in, which cards come out.
Yeah.
And then you can like, okay, I just check for all the cards here. But if you have to figure it out on the fly, like, oh, how many cards do you have to cut still? Oh, it's 12, so you need to cut 3 more and so on. And this takes so much time. Like 3+ minutes or 5 minutes even to like sideboard. That's not how much time you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't have, or most of the time you don't have the time, because it's just 50 minutes, it's timed, and therefore you have to play fast, you have to play,
Mhm.
you have to keep all this different interactions in your head.
Yeah, also you're not supposed to sideboard like 5 minutes. That's
Yeah.
gonna be slow play sooner or later. Like if you do it with 10 minutes on the clock, you sideboard for 5 minutes, then the judge will pull you aside. And, yeah,
Put you aside.
exactly. Yeah. And Tomasz going for a quick toilet break while Peter is deciding how he wants to sideboard. I think
And that's also the thing. You search through and try to put out the cards, the 15 cards. It's just so tedious.
Yeah. I think he got really lucky game 1 doing the combo. Well, I think this should be a 2-0 win for Tomasz usually. And
Probably, yeah. Mhm.
now he has to try his best to win or steal the game.
Steal the
3.
game,
Maybe
yeah.
maybe feel on
He's on play now.
Yeah.
He's on the play. So maybe it's enough.
Mhm.
What would be the best Magic Christmas land here for Peter?
I mean, I guess the best thing is like 2 lands, nomads, Cephalid, force blue card, and you draw a blue card for your turn. It's 8 cards, and you have double force backup, or like force days or something like that. That's like turn 2 kill with double protection up is likely the best thing you can do. Or of course something like turn 3, having an Orbs Chant, 3 lands. Maybe in a saga to get a Shuko, right? So you don't need that card, like Orbs Chant, 3 lands, Illusionist, and then force blue card also works.
Yeah.
You go on turn 3, you cast the Orbs Chant, you force check, and then you can decide, do you want to commit or not? Based on what I've drawn, something like that. Of course, a handful of cantrips, also nice, since Tomasz doesn't really pressure him. So you have time to spin your wheels and look through your deck with brainstorm and ponder. You don't want to have like the time is okay, I think, on turn 1, since you're in the play, you can prepare turn 2. You don't want to see the Narcomoebas, the Oracles, the Therapy, the endings really early. No, I guess most cards are fine to draw here, but of course the right combination is what's needed for
Yeah,
combo style decks. Yeah. All cards are good in combination with each other. There are not really many blank draws. Of course, otherwise the deck would be unplayable if like half your deck is a blank draw. You don't want to ever draw it. It's like a bad deck design than back deck building. So makes sense for Peter to put it that way. This breakfast deck without Nado looks quite interesting.
Yeah. So you would say show and tell if you draw the wrong half of the deck is a bad deck building?
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, shots fired.
But show and tell is like you have, I mean, depends on the version, right? But you have Sneak and Show, which play like 8 or 7 enablers. So it's like
8. I'm pretty sure they play 4 and 4.
play
Yeah.
8, yeah. So it's like pretty consistent to find. Even with cards like Stock Up now, you get to
Mhm.
basically with Brainstorm Ponder Stock Up see you half your deck by turn 3 or 4. So that's like fine. You are percentage-wise very likely to do that. But I've played these Omnishow decks myself.
Yeah,
all
these
in,
are
all,
fragile.
all in on show and tell,
Wow.
and I've got my show and tell surgicaled, and I've lost games with that. So, what are we doing here? I'm drawing an extra card by accident and shuffling one card back.
Yeah, but he doesn't seen anything from his hand, so
Yeah, I
that's
think
fine.
he just like slipped an extra card and couldn't tell which one was the 8th card, so he just shuffled one random card back in the deck.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Mm-hmm.
That's my guess. And there again, I think it's Undercity Sewers and UC, so no white source. Is it, or is
But
it,
he's all blue hand.
is it a therapy next to UC?
And again a therapy.
or
yeah.
is it the dread return?
No, it was therapy.
Okay.
Mhm.
So both players happy with the 7-card hands.
And the Narcomoeba blind. Woo! I love that. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Turn 1 here for Peter.
In Tomasz hand we see Force, Consign, Swords, and 5 lands, I
And a
think.
lot of lands. Wasteland here on the sewers. I mean, that's not great, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what's that? The Nomads and Core.
But there's just... I mean, this at least saves you from a potential turn 2 kill.
Mm-hmm.
If, like... I mean, with Terror on tap, then you can't kill turn 2 anyway, but...
Can you ponder here?
Does he have Ponder?
I don't know. I try to see it.
Yeah, it's Nomad's Force, what I see so far. Maybe he's the therapy. Or just passes the turn.
At least he's down to 19.
Tomasz is in 19. And there is a Flight Serum at the top, I think, which is right in time for Peter. And there's an Illusionist, which he might run out. He's thinking about it.
Do we have a
at least.
land?
I think he drew a Flight Serum for a turn.
Okay, Flyer's Ride is great. Flyer's Ride is great. So Peter is back in the game. The thing is, should he here play out the Cephalid? The Cephalid Illusionist?
I mean, I would play out the Nomads before, maybe. But if he has... Maybe he can go Therapy and Nomads, maybe. Yeah, there's Therapy, and then you play Nomads. And
Yeah, therapy on Force of Will.
now that the jig is up, and I think Tomasz hand looks kind of embarrassing now.
Yeah, I like it.
Embarrassing if we see it. Like, I think it's like 4 lands, Force, blue card, and something else. So, and a Swords was it, I think. It looks like kind of embarrassing keep to me. For the amount of good hands he can have with Stifle. Maybe there are no Stifles in the deck anymore. That I could get behind that you cut
Why?
Stifles. Because you bring all these other interactive cards.
Consign and... Okay,
Mhm.
Force of Will and Consign.
And that's a weird keep. Like, he kept 4 lands.
No Ponder, nothing.
He kept 4 lands, Consign, Swords, and Force on 7 on the draw.
Yeah.
And I think I would mulligan the 10.
Yeah,
10
for
10
sure.
out of 10 times.
Yeah.
Of course, again, the natural therapy doing overtime work here.
Yeah, sure, but you still don't keep this hand. It's too much lands, and you can keep this hand if the force is a ponder or one land is a ponder. Then suddenly the hand gets so much better. But without any cantrip, it's just not keepable.
Exactly. And now Peter kind of knows, right? He can just like go again, take the swords, then play out the Nomads, next time play Cephalid, and I think he has Force in hand, so there's just one card he...
Yeah, don't you take the Consign?
I guess you can take the Consign.
You have to take the Consign, I'm pretty sure.
Because with 2 lands you can counter the Tusk Oracle trigger twice, that makes sense, yeah. Then you take the Consign. Then you can force the swords and you're free to go.
Yeah.
This gives Tomasz one out to draw a counter spell, which can only be like Daze, I guess. Or Stifle, or
Another
another
play
sword.
Nomads. All miracle players like lands in the starting end. Yeah, that's true, but days of miracles are long gone.
I think if you like this hand, maybe he's already qualified and doesn't need the qualification, so it's like, oh, I don't care about the last game. I just
I
like
don't know.
high roll it. I already have 4 lands in hand. I won't draw a 5th land for sure, right?
And then there's
Of course, you draw a 5th land, yeah.
it's like actually always the same.
And I think he didn't play out the Nomads,
No.
so he's not committed to playing Force. Maybe he doesn't have the Force. Maybe we saw his hand wrong.
No, we for sure know the Force and the Narcomoeba and the Nomads.
And a Cephalid, I'm pretty sure as well. So let's see. Cards-
Keep it on top. Okay. Okay. What can this miraculous card be? It's a ponder. Okay.
That's a good card to keep.
That's a
on
good
top.
card. Yeah. Mhm.
Do you force this ponder now?
Yeah. I would force it.
Would force it?
I would force it.
I think if I have the combo in my hand, I wouldn't force it.
Ah, yeah, because you need it for the swords. Yeah, I'm right.
Yeah. No shuffle.
That would be my greedy ass.
Wasteland. Ooh. Interesting.
I think that's fine.
What's the other cards on top now? I mean, of course, Peter can't combo now since he needs 3 mana to play the combo without having anything on the battlefield. So that's okay. Leave it open stream. There's a so beautiful card.
Oh.
The-
Yeah, okay.
Like I love these onslaught fetch lands. They're so pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so happy that I traded everything now into Onslaught.
Mhm.
But I simply can't decide if I want to have normal enemy fetches
Mhm.
or if I have the fake old border fetches.
Yeah, I also asked myself that question, and I'm sticking with Zendika once, since I think the fake old border fetches, they look not like real old border cards.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They've like the color doesn't match for me,
Mm.
so I'm sticking with the old Zendika fetches.
Yeah, me too. It's just not worth it in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Still OG printings and the best printings,
Yeah.
right?
OG signed black.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I agree with you with everything, but
But the language.
the white border cards, and the language.
And the language. Yeah.
When you like German cards, I can get behind liking German cards, but as a like tournament player, it's so
Yeah.
much more relaxing to have English cards for all the players who don't know German.
That's true. That's 100% true.
If I would play like mostly here, the LGS like at Legacy FNMs, I could see myself playing a full German deck.
Mm-hmm.
Since the German card names are actually funny most of the time.
Yeah.
Like there's some crazy
are
names that
so
make no
great.
sense in the translation. And
And I really love them because flow state, like we said yesterday, is Schaffensrausch
yeah,
in German, and it's just so much better than flow state.
I've never heard that word before in German,
Yeah.
so like I think we surveyed days to the graveyard with Tomasz having 4 lands in hand. That's a good card to survey
Yeah,
here.
it's a good surveil here.
And we found a Tundra, so immediately finding the new land.
Do you go here for the illusionist?
No, I don't think so. I think it's the more important combo piece. But if he has like a silence in hand, I can see playing.
He
the
goes for the
Illusionist. Yeah.
illusionist. Okay.
Of course, he knows the deck better than I do, since he is in the finals with it, and I have like barely played it with Naru.
What has he drawn here? Is it a prismatic ending?
When you play Japanese Korean cards and you don't remember what your own cards do, it's embarrassing to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I don't play Japanese or Korean. I love everything else. I love Spanish, German, Italian ones.
Mm-hmm.
These are great as long as I can read them.
Yeah. So the card he drew was a Containment Priest. And he can't cast it and the swords.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's gonna swords the Illusionists, and then Peter's gonna force it, and then we have a new Austrian Legacy champion.
It totally looks like that.
Yeah. Because I think there's only one unknown card that Tomasz has in hand.
And that's the Containment Priest.
Yeah. There's
Yep.
the force.
Force Pitch Narcomoeba.
Mm-hmm. It's counted, and now Tomasz will say, yes, this resolves.
Oh my god, I'm very nervous
You're
now.
shaking?
I'm shaking. It's so interesting.
It looks like Peter gets to steal 2 games.
Yeah, against Riddler, which was, in my opinion, the better matchup.
I would rate this like 60-40 at least.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
matchup.
60-40, something like that. Just has all the tools. But maybe he has really brought out the stifles, which for me seems like the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, since Consign is like kind of, it's not the better stifle, but it's also not the worst stifle. It's a weird situation. Do you get the dread return here? So we're just going for it. And unless there's like a white ritual now that you, like not the dark ritual, but the
Yeah, white
a bright ritual, right?
Bright ritual.
Yeah.
But 3 white mana. I think that would be the worst color for.
And you can play your initiative things on turn 1, right? If you have the bright return.
Wow, yeah, I totally forgot about initiative. It would be broken in vintage.
Yeah. There is Tassa's Oracle. And we only have 3 creatures in play for dread return, so we are just going through the motions. I guess he could have a Surgical Extraction here.
I mean, it could be an erode. I don't know.
Also in response, no, it doesn't work because the trigger. You would have done it before, right? You would have killed the Narcomoeba, so he can't flashback the dread return.
Yeah.
Like in response to a last mill, you kill a creature, so you can't cast dread return. And there it is. Flashing in Containment Priest and showing.
And that's game! Woo! Awesome. We have a new Austrian Legacy champion. It's Peter Cismadia on Cephalid Breakfast. What an insane match.
Yeah,
I really
congrats to
love that.
Peter. He really played to his outs both games, game 1 and game 3. Got lucky with a draw of a land or two, but that was a crazy finals, and he's now the
was
owner
insane.
of a new tropical island.
Yeah.
And
insane.
An ELM invite.
I think it's his first ELM invite.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure. We will have Peter shortly on the winners interview. So we will be there for a short break. Then we go through the motions, through the tournament, and through basically the finals also for another time.
Yeah,
So give us 5 minutes and we will be soon back.
I think I will leave now to make space for the interview,
Okay,
right?
perfect.
So see you guys tomorrow. Phil and me, we will be back in round 3 tomorrow. I
Yeah,
think.
that's true.
So we're starting Peter and Daniel will do the first 2 rounds, and we will do the 3rd and 4th round tomorrow. So I can't wait for more Legacy and have fun with the interview.
Thank you very much.
See you guys tomorrow.
Felix. Until tomorrow.
Bye guys. See you tomorrow.
So guys, we are back with the winners interview of the Austrian Legacy Masters 2026. I'm sitting here with the winner of the Austrian Legacy Masters, Peter Cismadia. So that was so awesome. we didn't thought you would made it.
No, you did not.
No,
Wow.
because I'm sorry to say this, but we don't think your deck was favored in this matchup.
it was not.
Yeah, we said it was like a 60-40% matchup for you, and then you get to steal a game, and then making such a comeback in the 3rd game. It was insane to watch. Really, congratulations, Peter.
Thank you. It was an amazing run. The finals was so much emotions and
Yeah, I can understand it. Yeah.
wow. Tomasz, he's an amazing player. He knows his strategy inside and out. He knows how to beat me. So I had to take unnecessary risks. I had to try and fool him whenever I could. Wow, that's all I got. So thanks, Tomasz. Great games. I had so much fun.
How did your tournament, besides the finals and the win, went? What's your feeling about the tournament?
Thanks for organizing the entire event. It was.
You're welcome.
I was looking forward to do this for so long. I was happy to spend this vacation here in Linz. Awesome place, guys. If you haven't come here yet, please do next year. It's gonna be epic. Yeah, well, great event, great people. Come on, fully booked out.
Yeah, sure. I mean, sure. It's not sure. It's the
Wow.
first time we are booked out, but it's just insane. And if we would have been a bigger location, if we would have that,
Yeah.
we already had people on a waiting list to join today. So we
Crazy.
had 5 people, unfortunately, who couldn't attend anymore.
Yeah, well, no wonder. This is Linz people are super hospitable. You guys play the game in such a friendly and fun way. You're not these nitpickers, and you're just here to have fun. Listen, yesterday I met this dude, and he played a Teeny Ninja Mutant Turtle deck for his first ever legacy. I mean, this tells everything.
Basically, a casual deck that is kitchen table.
Yeah, but overall, great vibes, great people.
There's lots of food options nearby.
Yeah.
So best place.
Awesome. There was one question I had for you that just fell to the bottom. Yeah, I can't remember it right now.
I have many answers to questions you don't even ask. Mr. Johan Larsson was such a bliss to meet in person. I met him last year at Eternal Weekend. I mean, he's just the master and the professor of Cephalid breakfast.
Yeah.
And finishing higher up the ranking than him at the tournament, playing the same deck. That's a dream come true.
Oh yeah, I can understand. It's like the scholar beating the mentor.
Exactly,
Like-
exactly. That was an epic adventure. So thanks for that.
Speaking of Cephalid breakfast, have
Yeah.
you seen the list that's going around of Cephalid breakfast without Shuko and without Urza Saga?
Yeah, I have. I don't know. I never tried the deck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have. Listen, I see your podcast. I follow everything you upload. I'm not sure I agree with the hype over flow state.
Okay, shots fired. That's interesting. Why?
Listen, flow state needs so much setting up.
Mm-hmm.
It requires you to think of your gameplay differently. And may I say, it sometimes urges you to make plays not necessarily
Optimal, yeah.
optimal. Exactly. So, and also in Cephalid, there are a lot of creatures, maybe artifacts, maybe not. It's not obvious that you get to that point. And also, to my finding, you don't even need 2 cards from the top 3. You're desperately wanting to find that one missing piece.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Larson, I spoke with him. He played Flow State in his build, and I very humbly and respectfully disagree. I had no such success with the card. So I saw the list. I don't believe in it. I'm an old schooler, I guess.
Awesome. And is it this? You've now won the European Legacy Masters invite for Hasselt in Belgium.
Yeah.
Is it the first time that you're able to do this, or is it already a second or third time?
So probably the info was not passed on to you. Sadly, I cannot participate at
Unfortunate.
ELM.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, it is because I have other duties, so I have to skip entirely. Technically, this is the 3rd time I qualified. this
Okay,
season.
okay.
But sadly, I had to pass down the.
So we passed down. Is this
Yeah.
Thomas already qualified?
Thomas is already qualified from the team, so probably.
So who
he's making the
gets the invite then?
today?
Today.
Sorry. I thought the other Tomas from my team, the Hungarian dude.
Tamas.
Tomas. He is qualified. Tomas, Vlicek.
Flacek, yeah.
Yeah, Vlicek, yeah, from my finals opponent. He is not qualified yet.
Okay.
But now he is.
Okay, so
Congrats.
Thomas Flacek gets the European Legacy Masters invite.
I can go.
Awesome. So chat, if you have any questions, just type them in now. Otherwise, we will show the prices for today. I mean, you
Exactly.
have to show them because
Yeah.
they are just insane.
Storing some and playing on some nice decks.
Thanks to our sponsor, Ultimate Guard.
Exactly. So
This is just flip and tray and
flip and tray. Come on, my commander deck goes in it. No, I don't play. Commander.
no one plays Commander.
yeah. And this is the final prize.
Woo! A very, very beautiful tropical island.
Boom.
I love it.
It's the 4th copy in my missing playset. So thanks for that.
Really?
Yeah. This is actually the 4th copy.
So how many duels do you have right now? Do you go to the 40-40 club or?
Listen, 15 years ago, I sold everything.
Okay.
I bought the car. Right now, different prices. Now I have so I'm rebuying constantly. I have 25, 30?
Mm-hmm.
30, around 30-ish. So now I'm good. But you don't have to max it out. It's not
So you don't care for the
No,
bad
no.
duels like Plateau and Scrubland and Tiger.
I wouldn't call them bad because
Yeah, I can say that these are bad duels because I played them myself.
exactly. Listen, I prefer blue and another color or red.
Or red. Oh yeah,
That-
because
that's
you're
my
the
jam.
Moon Stompy guy also, yeah.
Exactly. Moon Stompy is my plan B always because I like extremes. And I also believe playing some Moon Stompy puts your Cephalid breakfast experience into perspective. So you can appreciate your ponders and brainstorms better if you
Well, yeah.
play some red here and then. Yeah, all in my mind.
I mean, I play Oopthal spells or Marduket, so it's
Then
also
probably you know what I feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's I feel this. I feel this every time. But the problem is every time I play something with brainstorm and ponder, it's just yeah, I can't brainstorm. I can't ponder. It's, I can use them to find combo pieces.
Yeah.
Like with Adnosium Tendrils, that works.
Yeah.
But as soon as I try to play a tempo game, just my brain falls apart. It's just not working.
No, you don't think you should try actually because so finding combo pieces with ponder and brainstorm is very satisfying. Me controlling and setting up the scheme to control the board for the game. I mean, rounds ahead. That's not me.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's,
I also can't play control. It's just not for me.
No, that's hard.
So,
That's
is the
hard.
car still working? That's a question from the chat.
Come again, please.
The car that you bought 15 years ago with where you sold your
The
collection.
the car is gone. The car is broken, and yeah, that was a Volkswagen Golf 4 or something. That's broke. I literally broke it.
So that was not the greatest,
Not the best
trade.
investment. No, not the
Yeah.
best investment. No.
So thank you very much, Peter. We will
Thank
have
you.
a short photo session on at the top. So
Yeah.
we will end the stream here. We'll keep it running a little bit. So thanks, guys, for watching the stream. Tomorrow we will be back and just a short look into the schedule for tomorrow. It's a little bit smaller because the buy-in isn't that high. So we have an European Legacy Masters invite tomorrow and a Tiger for first place. Then we have for second place a whole playset of Orcish Bowmasters for anyone who doesn't have them already. I think that's a great second place. And third to fourth place, we've got an Ancient Tomb, which is insanely pricey in the last couple of months due to pre-modern. And then we have from 5th to 8th place, we've got Eye of Ugin, which is a card we have seen today a lot of times and also has won some games. So every Legacy player needs to have at least one. And for 9th to 12th place, we've got a Hexing Squelcher, which satisfies all your combo needs. And also we've got, again, prizes from Ultimate Guard, which we will distribute from places 1 to 12. So if that's not a great prize pool to have. Awesome. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. We'll see us again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I will join you again on round 3. And Daniel and Peter will guide you through the first 2 rounds. So see ya. Thank you very much.